Welcome to HOJO Radio. Our next broadcast was based on a comic book character created in 1941. He made his radio debut in 1943 and ran until 1953. Relax, folks, relax for the adventures of Archie Andrews, right here on HOJO Radio.
Hello?
Hello, Jughead. This is Archie. Come over right away. It's a matter of life or death.
Oh, relax, Archie. Relax.
Yes, and you relax too, folks, if you can, because here he is again, right out of the pages of Archie Comics magazine with all his gang, Archie Andrews. Our story today begins with, well, where does any story begin? A difficult question to answer, but perhaps this story begins with a fly. Yes, an ordinary, pesky, buzzing fly. It seems Mr. Andrews was taking a nap on the front porch one sunny afternoon. And there was this fly, circling around and around and around until finally it landed right on Mr. Andrews' nose. So, Dad slowly raised his hand and slapped himself right on the nose. At which point, it was the misfortune of another friend of ours to enter the scene, a fellow by the name of Archie.
Oh, you gotta love me in the morning. Yes, yes, and love me every night. 'Cause a good man nowadays is hard to... Hiya, Dad!
Archie, for gosh sakes.
Gee, Dad, did I do something wrong?
Archie, can't you see that I'm trying to sleep?
Oh, I didn't know that. I just
And
wanted
if there's anything I hate, it's being awakened from a nap.
Oh, but Dad,
Do you care that I work hard all week and now on Saturday want to rest for just a little while?
But, Dad,
you
I only
stomp
come in...
all over the place, screaming at the top of your lungs. Archie, it's high time you were taught some manners.
But gosh, Dad, all I did
I
was
want you
come
to
in
go
and
out into the backyard and stay there.
What?
You
But,
heard
Dad,
me. I want you to spend the rest of the day in the backyard, alone. Then maybe you'll be considerate of other people.
Oh, but, Dad,
Archie?
Yes, Dad.
Go ahead.
She was okay. What chance has a fella got?
Fred. Oh, Fred.
What now?
Fred, I couldn't help overhearing that. Don't you think you're being a little severe with the boy?
I most certainly do not.
But, Fred,
Now,
all he
Mary,
did
don't you realize that what I need is peace and quiet? I'm tired, I'm weary, worn out.
But why take it out on Archie?
I am not taking anything out on Archie.
Why, boys leave home for less reason than that.
Leave... Archie?
Well, he might.
Now, Mary, stop dreaming. You know we'd never be that fortunate. Me? Oh, I'm going to sleep.
Hey, Archie.
Hi, Jug.
What's the matter?
Jughead, I'm despondent, that's what.
What did you do now, Archie?
Jug, all I did was walk up to my father and say hello. And you know what he said?
Scram.
Exactly. He said... Jug, how did you know?
That's what my father always says.
Well, this time, Jug, I've had enough. Yes, sir, I've made up my mind.
Gee whiz, what are you going to do?
Exactly what my father said. I'm going to go away, that's what. I'm going to go far away. In fact, I may never come back. Well, Jug, what do you say to that?
Goodbye.
Jughead, I want you to come with me.
Who, me?
Yes, you. We'll go to some island and live like Robinson Crusoe.
Oh, but Archie, I can't...
Archie. Hi, Jug. What you doing, Archie?
Making some plans, Betty. Plans to go away.
Go away.
Yes, Betty, and... Oh, before I go, Betty, there's something I want to ask you.
Yes, Archie.
Betty, would you...
Yes, Archie?
Well, that is Could you...
Yes? Yes?
Gosh, I don't know how to say it.
Oh, go on, Archie, go on.
Well, Betty,
Yes?
would you lend me your thermos bottle?
Archie Andrews, you're hopeless.
But all I want is
Yes,
your
you can borrow the thermos bottle, but if you want it, come around to the delivery entrance. Goodbye.
Well, gee whiz, now what did I say? Jug, I tell you, I'm glad we're going where there won't be any women. In fact, I can't wait till we get there.
Archie Andrews.
Oh, of course, there's no sense rushing things. Gee. Hello, Veronica.
Hello, Archie. What you doing?
Veronica, I have some bad news for you.
Really?
And I know it'll hurt you, Veronica, but be brave.
Yes?
Veronica, I'm going away to a lonely island.
My goodness. But, Archie, before you go,
Yes, Veronica?
stop at my house, Archie. And
Yes.
I'll lend you my portable radio. Well, I gotta run now. Bye, Archie. Bye, Judge.
Gee whiz.
Jug, I tell you, the more I see of women, the less I understand them. I tell you, I'm glad we're going to live like Robinson Crusoe.
Yeah, but he never had thermos bottles and portable radios.
Well, yes, but there's no sense overdoing it, you know.
Did you want to see me?
Yes, Andrews, I did. Beagle is my name. J.P. Beagle of the law firm of Beagle, and Beagle.
I'm very glad to know you, sir.
Well, I might as well get right down to business, Mr. Andrews.
Yes, by all means.
Now, it is my unpleasant duty to inform you that your uncle, Ezekiel Q. Andrews, recently passed away and left a sizable will.
Well, that's wonderful. I mean, he did. Oh, poor old Uncle Zeke.
Well, that's right. Now, I gather your uncle was somewhat eccentric.
Oh, he was as batty as well, yes, he was a little eccentric.
At any rate, he left a rather strange will.
Oh, really?
Yes, very strange. In fact, nobody gets anything.
What?
That's right. Your uncle made all his money with a chain of cafeterias.
Yes, I know.
And in death, as in life, he wants people to help themselves.
I don't understand.
It's simple. Your uncle left a list of eligible heirs. These heirs can have whatever they want of his property. They have one choice each. All they have to do is turn up on his property and claim what they want. The money, the mansion, the jewels, or whatever.
Oh, I see.
First come, first served, but all claims must be made by 10 o'clock tonight.
Tonight?
Now, that's the deadline. After that, all unclaimed property goes to the Australian Foundation to provide pogo sticks for tired kangaroos. Is that clear?
Clear. Oh, yes, it's clear. Yeah.
Very well. Good day.
Oh, just a minute, Mr. Beagle. I might as well go along with you and make my claim right now.
Oh, that reminds me. There's one thing I forgot to tell you.
Oh, yes?
Your uncle disinherited you.
Well, that was nice of the old fella to disinherited me. But he couldn't. I mean, he wouldn't. I mean, he
did.
has no right.
However, he did include your son in the list of eligible heirs.
Archie?
That's right. So if your son appears on the Andrews estate by 10 o'clock tonight, he may claim whatever he wants.
Oh, well, in that case, everything's all right. I'll call my son and be down there in 5 minutes.
$5 years, Archie? 5 years?
Sure. Or maybe we'll stay here for 10 years. I like this island. Lots of peace and quiet.
But 10 years is a long time.
Well, what's the matter, Jug? Don't you like our new home?
Well, the rent is low enough, and it's a quiet neighborhood, all right. But don't you think there's too much cross-ventilation?
Jug, don't be silly. I see no reason why we can't stay here forever.
I do.
What?
We forgot the food.
Well, what difference does that make, Jug? We can always... The food! Jughead, I told you to take the box of sandwiches.
I forgot.
Oh, well, never mind. As a matter of fact, Jug, I'm glad we forgot the food.
Glad? Why?
Because it gives us a chance to prove to ourselves that we're self-sufficient. Prove it to our egos.
Archie, I'd much rather prove it to our stomachs.
Now, Mary, the main thing is not to let this thing upset us. Not to let it upset us. After all, people inherit things all the time.
Yes, dear. Fred, would you like vegetable soup with dinner tonight?
And we have to remember that, after all, I was the first one notified by the lawyer.
Yes, dear. Or would you prefer cream of mushroom soup?
Archie, we'll be home any minute now, and we'll just go down and make our soup. Claim.
Yes, dear. Well, maybe vegetable soup would be best.
Yes, the main thing to do is just to keep calm about this, Mary. I know it's difficult here. I know it's a strain, but try, dear. Just try.
Perhaps chicken soup.
Chicken soup. Mary, how can you talk about soup at a time like this?
Fred, for pity's sake, what are you so nervous about?
Me? Nervous? I'm not nervous, Mary, but why doesn't that boy get here?
Well, he'll probably be home any minute, dear.
Yes, he'll be. Just let's be patient. The main thing is to keep calm. Keep calm.
Fred, where are you going?
To find that boy, Mary, if I have to turn over every stone in Riverdale.
Any luck yet, Archie?
Be patient, Jug. I'll catch a fish any minute now. Yes, sir, this is the life. Just sit here and catch our supper. Oh, can't you see it, Jug? 2 juicy lake trout simmered to a crisp golden brown. So fresh, they'll melt in your mouth. Boy, how I love fresh lake trout.
Archie, right now I'd sell for a stale goldfish.
Jug, don't be so silly. Don't you realize that nature is bountiful? Why, we're living just like our forefathers did.
Yeah, and they're dead.
Jug, will you stop being funny? I'm bound to catch a... Jug, I think I got something.
Oh.
Yeah, I got one. Look at that rod bend.
Hang on to it, Archie.
Yeah, I am. Weighs a ton.
Keep reeling, Archie, keep reeling.
Well, I am. I hope that rod doesn't break. Gee whiz, it feels like a whale.
Don't think I couldn't eat one.
Here it comes, Jug. Here it comes.
Gee whiz.
How do you like that? An old tire.
Yeah. And not even Robinson Crusoe would eat that.
Why, Betty, what brings you over here? Oh, nothing special, Veronica. I just don't have anything to do. Neither do I. I'm glad you came over. Did you hear about Archie? Yes, I did. In fact, he borrowed my portable radio before he left. Gee, said he was going to stay away a long time. Uh-huh. But personally, Betty, I don't really care. Neither do I. Sometimes Archie makes an awful nuisance of himself. Yes, he does. In fact, it's refreshing not to have the boys around for a change. I was just thinking the same thing. I'm sure we can find many interesting things to do without them. Of course we can. Well, there's any number of... Oh, my goodness. What is it? This package on the table. Archie must have left it here. What? Oh, it's the sandwiches. The boys forgot the food. Really? Veronica, I've got an idea. Yes? Let's go over to the island and take it to them. Oh, Betty, that's a wonderful idea.
Hello?
Mary, this is Fred.
Oh, where are you, dear?
Downtown. Has Archie come home yet?
No, haven't you found him?
Found him. Mary, I think that boy has vanished from the face of the earth.
Well, Fred, go over to some of his friends' houses. Jughead or Betty or Veronica, and ask them. They're bound to know where he is.
Mary, I already tried that. I can't even find his friend.
Really? Well, maybe they went to the movies. There's a murder mystery playing.
Oh, now, Mary, how can I find anyone in a movie?
Remember the inheritance, dear.
Yes, but Oh, all right, Mary, I'll look at the movie. I'm in a good mood for murder anyway.
Archie, let's go home.
Maybe you're right, Jug. We can start our outdoor life tomorrow. Uh-oh. We better hurry up before it rains.
Archie, I think our outdoor life starts right now.
Why?
Well, while you were catching old tires, our rowboat sort of drifted off. Sort of.
glorious love is ours. Tell me, darling. Tell me.
Archie! Oh, Archie!
You seem so restless, darling. So uncertain.
Archie!
Tell me, what is it you're seeking?
Me? Oh, I'm just looking for my... Oh, you weren't talking to me. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
You know, darling.
Archie!
Sometimes I feel
Archie! Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking for my son. I'm sorry. I'm only looking for my son. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Was that your foot? It's so dark in here. I couldn't...
Hey, what's going on here?
I'm looking for my son.
Where'd you lose him?
Well, he was right under the... No, I didn't lose him.
I'll cut out the noise or I'll have to throw you out.
Yes, yes, sir. I'm terribly sorry. I'll be very quiet.
Well, see that you do.
Yes, sir. I'll be quiet.
Darling, must you leave so soon?
No luck at all, Fred.
Mary, Houdini in his prime couldn't have disappeared more completely than that boy has.
Oh, but Fred, it's getting late. We'll lose our claim on the will.
Well, don't worry, dear. I'm going to take desperate action.
Well, what are you going to do?
I'm going right down to the local radio station and try to get them to broadcast a plea for Archie to come home.
Uh-huh.
And Mary, if that doesn't do it, nothing will.
Archie,
Yeah?
raining, isn't it?
Jughead. For gosh sake, kid, snap out of it.
But I just
Take
said...
it easy, old man.
I only said
I know
that...
how the jungle gets under your skin. I know how the sound of the tom-toms drives men mad. But Jughead, old man. Remember, England.
Remember it? I've never even been there.
Don't cast civilization aside, Jug. The rainy season will soon end. The tropical suns will shine again.
Archie, do you have malaria?
It's not easy. I know it's not easy. Spending all this time on this island, never seeing another white man, never.
What do I look like?
I mean someone from the outside world.
Well, you wanted peace and quiet.
Yeah, but this is going too far.
Well, we could turn on the radio.
Gee whiz, that's a good idea, Jug. Yeah, turn the radio on.
Okay.
Boy, I'm sure glad you thought of that, Jug. That's just the thing to cheer us up. Yes, sir, a radio is sure a wonderful invention. No matter where you are, it brings entertainment and relaxation right to your side.
We interrupt our regular schedule to bring you a special broadcast. This afternoon, a boy by the name of Archie Andrews disappeared from this city.
And all the latest news. What? Gee whiz.
A complete search has failed to disclose his whereabouts.
Oh, gee whiz, they're looking for me.
May we urge any listeners who know the whereabouts of Archie Andrews to communicate with this station. When last seen, he was wearing gray trousers, a green sweater, and a silly grin.
That's you, all right.
But gee whiz, I'm not missing. I'm right here, right here.
Now, in the event that the boy himself may be listening to a radio somewhere, we present his father, Fred Andrews, with a special stirring message to his son.
Thank you. If my dear boy is anywhere within the range of my voice, I would like to say this to him. Archie, if you know what's good for you, get home in a hurry.
Get home in a hurry, but how?
I don't care how you do it. If need be, call a taxi.
Oh, sure. Jug, see if there's a taxi out on the lake, huh?
But, I repeat, Archie, it is urgent you return home at once. I think you understand.
Thank you, Fred Andrews. We return now to...
Understand? I'll say I understand. There ought to be a law against radios on desert islands.
Well, Mary, we might as well face it. The inheritance is gone.
Oh.
And Archie will be home whenever he gets good and ready. Wherever he is.
Oh, dear. What a shame.
Yes, It is a shame. Money, riches, luxury. Who knows what we might have had? God. All God. Oh, now what?
Andrews, we want to see you.
Hello, Lodge. Mr. Cooper, Mr. Jones. It was nice of you to drop in, but I'm in a little trouble, and
I'll say you're in trouble, Andrews. We just heard your broadcast.
Oh, did you? Well, I've been on the air before, you know, so naturally
Andrews,
I didn't have any...
where is my daughter?
Your daughter? Why, she's probably... What? Your daughter?
Yes, and Jughead and Betty.
Oh, Jughead. Betty. Oh, now, look, how should I know? I have trouble enough finding Archie. I don't know where Jughead
Oh,
and
is
Betty...
that so, Andrews? Well, you listen to me. That boy of yours is a menace to this town.
Oh, yes, I
was a little worried about where those kids were, but since I heard your broadcast, I know Archie is at the bottom of all this.
Oh, no, just a minute. I mean, what can I do about...
And let me tell you this. If you don't get these kids back home quickly and safely, I'll have the law on you.
The law?
Yes. There is a law against kidnapping, you know.
No, wait. Look, Lodge, and the rest of you can take my word for it. Jug may be with Archie, but I'm positive they haven't even seen Betty and Veronica.
Jug, there's something moving out there.
Gee whiz.
Quick, get your gun.
Archie, I don't have a gun, and you know it.
Well, I can dream, can't I? Gee whiz, there it is again.
Archie, do something.
Don't worry, Jugger. I'll handle this. Just leave it to me. I'm not afraid. I'm not scared at all. It's probably just a squirrel anyway. Hello?
Hello?
See, I told you it was just a squirrel.
For a squirrel, that sure sounds like Veronica.
Well, all squirrels sound like... Huh? Veronica, is that you?
Is that you, Archie?
Veronica, for gosh sake, where did you come from?
Oh, we've been here for hours.
And Betty!
Gee whiz.
Oh, boy, am I glad to see you kids.
Oh, we're glad to see you too, Archie. Yes, it was awfully scared out there in the woods.
Well, don't you worry for a minute. Everything's okay now. Everything is fine.
It is?
Sure, Jug. Don't you realize we're rescued? You came over in a boat, didn't you, Veronica?
Yes, we did, but...
Well, then we can go home right now. Oh, boy, will I be glad to get...
Archie.
Yes, Veronica?
Archie, we have a boat.
Yes.
But we lost both our oars.
All right, Andrews, what are you going to do?
No, people, please. I'm sure we can settle all this peaceably.
Go ahead, Andrews. We're listening.
You're listening, yes. Well, now, all we have to do is...
Yes?
Well, what we could do is we could... No, that wouldn't be so good, would it? Now, just a minute, Lodge. I'll have it in just a minute. What we should do is we should all organize, and we could all go out and... That wouldn't be so good either, would it?
Andrews, in just 30 seconds, I'm going down to the police station.
Oh, no, the police... pardon me. Hello? What? The row your boat company? Now, look, no, I don't want any boats. What's that? He did. My son rented a boat. When? And he hasn't returned it. Well, look, yes, don't worry. I'll pay for it. But just tell me one thing. Did he say where he was going? Mister, that's all I wanted to know. I'll be right there.
Has anything happened, Archie?
Lodge, that I don't know, but I can say this. Something is certainly going to.
We better think of something, Archie.
Yeah, we can't stay here. My father's going to be awful angry.
Young man, that is an understatement if I ever heard one.
Gee whiz, Dad, is that you?
Gee whiz.
Well, what are you doing here?
Archie, before you go any further, I want to tell you that I intend asking all the questions.
I thought of some nice ones while I rode across here in the rain.
But, Dad, we were just coming home in Veronica's boat and...
Veronica? Oh, Veronica and Betty here?
Oh, yes, Mr. Andrews, we're here.
Archie, I'm going to have something... Who was that?
Hello there.
Gee whiz, more company.
For a deserted island, this sure resembles Grand Central Station.
Do you people know you're trespassing?
Oh, Mr. Beagle, is that you?
Andrews, well, I see you made it.
Made what?
Don't you know?
Now, Beagle, this is no time for riddles.
You mean to say you don't know that this island is the property of the late Ezekiel Andrews?
What? You mean we're on Uncle Zeke's property?
You certainly are.
Oh, my gosh. Mr. Beagle, what time is it?
9:59, Mr. Andrews. In just 1 minute, all this property will belong to the Australian Foundation.
Oh, no, it won't, Beagle. Oh, this is my son, Archie.
Hello.
And since he's one of the eligible claimants, he claims this island as his property. Don't you, Archie?
Dad, if I never see this island again,
Archie,
it'll be...
for gosh sake, say yes. We haven't got time now.
Yes, I claim this island.
There.
Well, Andrews, I mean, this is a little irregular.
Oh, no, the will says the claimants must appear on the estate before 10 o'clock and make their claim in person. And we did, didn't we?
Well, yes, I guess you did.
Yeah.
All right, Andrews, you now own Green Island as your share of your uncle's will.
Green Island, yes, sir. Well, it's not what I had in mind, but it's better than nothing. Make a wonderful summer place, for one thing. Yes, sir, fine summer place. Eh, Archie?
Then you're not angry, Dad?
Angry, son? Why? What is there to be angry about? By the way, Mr. Beagle.
Yes?
Just how did you get over here anyway? I thought I took the last boat at the dock.
Boat? Boat? Why, don't be silly, Andrews. I walked across the bridge on the other side of the island.
What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that?
Fred, I said wake up, dear. Wake up. You've been asleep for 2 hours.
Yeah? No, sleeping? Oh. You mean that it was all
Yes, dear, you've had a wonderful nap.
Oh, Mary. The next time I fall asleep and take a wonderful nap, will you do me a favor?
Yes?
Wake me up.
Listening to another chapter of The Adventures of Archie Andrews, written by Carl Jampel and based on the copyrighted feature appearing in Archie Comics magazine. Archie is played by Bob Hastings, Jughead by Harlan Stone. Others in the cast include Alice Uhrman, Ian Martin, Gloria Mann, and Rosemary Rice. Felix McGuire at the organ. Production was under the direction of Charles Urquhart. And now back to Archie.
You know, Dad, it was a peculiar coincidence you're dreaming about Uncle Zeke this afternoon.
Oh, was it?
Well, yeah, we just got a letter from Uncle Zeke today.
Oh, really? What does he say?
Oh, just that he's broke again and wants you to send him $10.
Listen next week for more of the merry adventures of Archie Andrews. If you'd like to see our show, just write to Archie Andrews, NBC Radio City 20, New York City. Let me give you that address again. Write to Archie Andrews, NBC Radio City 20, New York City. Or if you live nearby and are in the neighborhood some Saturday morning, you may obtain tickets right at the studio. Just ask to see Archie Andrews. And now this is Bob Sherry wishing you a very pleasant weekend. So long!
HOJO Radio. We're your old-time radio headquarters. Stay tuned.
Hello?
Hello, Jughead. This is Archie. Come over right away. It's a matter of life or
death. Oh, relax, Archie. Relax.
Yes, and you relax too, folks, if you can, because here he is again, right out of the pages of Archie Comics magazine with all his gang, Archie Andrews. Well, it's a sunny Saturday morning as we look in on the Andrews home in Riverdale. Archie has just come downstairs.
Is that you, Archie?
Yes, Mom, it's me.
What? It's I.
Yes, I know it's you, Mom.
No, Archie. You said it's me, and you should say it's I.
Well, what's the difference, Mom, as long as I'm here?
All right, Archie, you win. I'm glad you're up early, dear. There's some things around the house I want you to do, and you can get
but Mom, on a day like this...
Well, I know, dear, but it's high time you mowed the lawn.
Oh, but Mom, just think, where would Napoleon be if he'd spent his time mowing lawns? Or Edison, or Abraham Lincoln, or any great man? Did they putter around the house?
They certainly did.
You see, Huh? Oh, but, Mom, I got important things to do.
Now, just what is so important?
Gee whiz, Mom, what do you think it is? I'm going swimming.
Oh, I hadn't realized it was anything that important.
Sure, as soon as I get someone to go with me.
All right, Archie, go ahead. I suppose it's too warm to do anything else.
Oh, gee, thanks, Mom. I'm going to call Veronica. Operator, get me Riverdale 318, please. Lazy bones lying in the sun, never get a day's work.
Are you on the phone?
Yes, Dad.
Oh, well, hurry up. I have a call to make.
Yes, Dad.
Hello? That you, Archie?
Uh-huh. Is that you, Veronica?
Uh-huh.
Hiya, Veronica. Veronica, would you like to go swimming today?
Oh, I'd love to go swimming with you, Archie. But I have an appointment at the beauty parlor in 5 minutes, and I have to hurry. Bye now.
Huh? Hello? 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 Gee whiz.
Archie, are you through with that phone?
Not yet, Dad.
Well, hurry up.
I'll just be a minute, Dad. Hello, operator. Get me Riverdale 426, please. Lazy bones lying in the sun, never get a day's work done. Betty, this is Archie.
Oh, hiya, Archie.
Hiya. Betty.
Yes, Archie?
Betty, would you like to go swimming today?
Oh, I'd love to go swimming, Archie. But I have to go shopping with Mother.
Oh, but Betty, couldn't you...
Gee whiz, Mother's calling me right now. Bye now, Archie.
Gee whiz.
Archie, are you through yet?
Not yet, Dad. I just got to make one more call.
Oh, Archie, for gosh sakes,
This will just take a second, Dad. Operator, Riverdale 783, in a hurry, please. Lazy bones lying in the sun, never get a day's work done. That way. Hello, Jug.
Yeah, Archie.
Jug, come over right away.
Why?
We're going swimming.
Not me. I'm not.
Gee whiz, Jug, why not?
I got a bad sunburn.
Gee whiz, on a swell day like this.
My sunburn doesn't know what kind of day this is.
But, Jug, you just gotta come swimming. We'll go down to the...
Nothing doing. I'd look like an embarrassed lobster now.
Oh, gee whiz. I guess I don't go swimming today. Well, come on over anyway, Jug. We'll do something.
Okay, bye.
Archie, are you through with that phone yet?
Yes, Dad.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, now, what nonsense are you up to today, son?
Nonsense? Why, Dad, you know I'm never up to any nonsense.
No?
Of course not, Dad. As a matter of fact, I plan to spend the entire day working around the house. See you later, Dad.
Goodbye, son. Working around the house. Working around the house? What, Mary? Oh, Mary!
Yes, dear?
Is there anything wrong with Archie?
Jug, I ought to be doing something. There's a lot of things to be done around the house.
Well, you could cut the grass.
What for? It only grows up again.
You could paint the front fence.
Well, what for? It'll only get dirty again.
You could fix that broken screen door.
What for? It'll only break again. Give me a piece of that candy, Jug.
What for? You'd only get hungry again.
Don't be funny, Jug. Thanks. Yes, I ought to do something around the house.
Archie, Why don't you just put up a hammock and lie there, quietly?
Jug, now you've got something. That's exactly what I intend to do. Yes, sir, I can see me now, just lying in the shade, swinging gently back and forth. Ah, that's the life.
You haven't even got the hammock up yet.
Oh, it won't take a minute, Jug. Soon as we buy one, I'll string it between those two shady trees on the left side of the house. Come on, here's the hardware store.
Well, hello, Archie. What can I do for you today?
Hello, Mr. Higgins. I want to buy
How about a new lawnmower, Archie? Just got a beauty in, special at $14.95.
No, thanks. We have a lawnmower. All I want is a
How
nice...
about a mop? Or brooms or pails, huh?
No, thanks. Just a nice
Or some
small...
screws, tacks, or nails?
No, all I want is
You
one...
care for some batteries, knives, or pans?
No, thank you. I just want a nice...
How about some paint or turpentine and cans?
Mr. Higgins, I don't want any paint or turpentine or batteries or pails, nails, or snails.
Well, what do you want?
I forgot.
A hammock, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. A hammock, Mr. Higgins.
Well, why didn't you say so? Why didn't you say so?
Well, I've been trying to for about 5 minutes.
Here's a dandy hammock made by the Swing Low Sweet Chariot Company. Only $5, this one.
Oh, mark down, half $5. Gee whiz.
I think it's the last hammock I have, too.
Well, okay, I'll take it. Here you are.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Yeah, you sure you don't need a garden hose?
No hose, thanks.
How about some oil or a hammer?
No hammer.
You need a lawn sprinkler?
No, thanks a lot.
Or a rake or some grass seed?
No, thanks.
Or
Oh, wow. I thought we'd never get out of there. He's a real salesman, that guy.
Yeah.
Why, Archie Andrews, I was just looking for you.
Oh, gee, Veronica. Well, what are you doing here?
Well, I decided it was much too hot to go to the beauty parlor, so I canceled my appointment.
You did?
Uh-huh. And I'd love to go swimming with you.
Gee whiz, I can't go now.
Why not?
I just spent my last cent on this hammock.
Oh, really?
Gee whiz. Jug, why did you have to suggest my putting up a hammock in the first place?
But, Archie, all I said
Wait a minute. Maybe Mr. Higgins will take it back and give me my money.
Oh, do you think he will?
Of course he will. After all, I bought it just a minute ago. It hasn't even been used yet. You wait right here and I'll be right back.
Oh, gee, Jug, I hope he gets it. I'd certainly love to go swimming.
Yeah.
It's a lovely day for swimming.
Yeah.
Oh, well, here comes Archie. Did he give you your money back, Archie?
Give me my money back? Veronica, he sold me a cushion to go with the hammock.
Oh, Father.
Hello, Veronica. I was just going for a walk. You want to see me?
Yes, I did. Father, isn't it awfully warm today?
Yes, it certainly is.
Father, you know what I've been thinking?
No, what?
That it would be wonderful to have a hammock on our lawn.
Well, would be kind of nice.
Why don't you put one up, Father? I know where you can get a lovely hammock and very reasonable.
Veronica?
Yes, Father.
Let's hear no more about my putting up a hammock. Only a fool would put up a hammock on a day like this.
Lazy bones lying in the sun. Never seem to get a day. Work done. Mary.
Yes, dear?
Mary, do you have some more of this lemonade?
Yes, dear. I'll bring it right out.
All right, dear. Oh, never get a day's work done. Lying in the new moon. Hey, son, hey, son. When you go fishing, I'll bet you keep wishing.
You look comfortable.
Hi there, Lodge. Yes. Well, I'm comfortable. Come on up here in the shade.
All right. Thanks. Don't mind if I do.
Well, where are you going?
No place special. Just a little stroll. You know, I believe your porch has better ventilation than mine.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, real comfortable here.
Yes, it is.
Of course, there is one thing you need on your property.
Really? What's that?
A hammock.
A hammock?
Yeah. There's nothing more comfortable than lying in a hammock in the shade,
You know, Lodge, you've got... Yes, you're right.
You could put it over right on the right side of your house.
Yeah, that would be a nice place for it.
Why don't you do it right now?
Now, or the... No, I don't know. It's a little too hot for that, I think.
Oh, of course, if you're not handy with tools...
Not handy? Lodge, I'll have you know I can do anything around this house, anything. In fact, I tell you what.
Yes?
If you will give me a hand, I'll go right down and get a hammock at Higgins' hardware store.
How'd you make out, Jug?
Oh, Pinky's father doesn't like hammocks. How'd you make out?
Betty's father says he always falls out of hammocks.
Gee. And Mr. Lodge doesn't want a hammock.
Yeah, but Veronica's talking to Mr. Mandel. Maybe he'll... Oh, here she comes now. How'd you make out, Veronica?
Oh, just fine.
You mean Mr. Mandel will buy the hammock?
Oh, no, but Reggie wants to take me swimming.
Oh, fine. That's great. Great.
Oh, but Archie, you wouldn't want poor little me to sit home and just melt away on a day like this, would you?
Gosh, no, Veronica. But I tell you what. Just wait right here. Maybe my father will pay for this hammock.
All right, but hurry.
Mom! Oh, Mom!
Yes, dear.
Where's Dad?
He went downtown for a while.
Gee whiz. Okay, Mom, thanks. Well, Veronica, I guess you better keep your date with Reggie. My father probably wouldn't want a hammock anyway.
A hammock? You want to buy a hammock, Mr. Andrews?
That's right. I want to buy a... Well, what's so strange about that?
Nothing. Not a thing at all. I have a dandy hammock right here, Mr. Andrews, one of the last ones in stock, and only $5.
Well, fine. I'll take it.
All right, I'll carry it out to your car.
Thank you. You know, Lodge, I like doing business here. Mighty fine fellow, that Higgins.
Well, Jug, as long as I'm stuck with a hammock, I might as well lie in it. Give me one of those hooks.
Here you are.
Now I'll screw it into this tree here. Won't take a minute. Yeah. There. Now the other hook in the other tree. Yeah, I'd rather lie in a hammock than go swimming any day. There. Well, that's done. See how easy it is?
Yeah.
Sure. In fact, I'm very glad I thought of putting up a hammock.
You thought of it. Archie,
Never mind, Jug. Hand me the hammock and I'll hang it. I'm anxious to see how it looks.
Yeah.
Now I hang one end on this hook, and the other end on... The other end on... Well, gee whiz. Jughead, it doesn't reach.
Gee whiz.
This hammock's too small.
Maybe the trees are too far apart.
Oh, for gosh sake. Why didn't I think of measuring the distance before I rushed off and bought this thing? Now what'll we do?
I could stand here and hold the other end.
No, that's no good. The termites would get you in one season. I know. I could sink a post into the ground and hang the other end on that.
Yeah, I guess you could.
Sure. Jug, you know, sometimes I think I'm a genius. The rest of the time, I know it.
You see, Andrews, that's all there is to it. Now that you got the two hooks in, you just hang the hammock on it.
Yes, Lodge, I sort of figured that out for myself. Hand me that hammock, will you?
Yeah.
Thanks. Now I hang one end on this hook, and the other on this hook. There. Now we're all set. Well, that was easy.
I told you it would be.
Yes, Lodge. Well, now for the test flight. I'll hop right into it and...
What happened?
I hit bottom. Oh, my gosh, it's resting right on the ground.
That's because the trees are too close together.
Yes, Lodge, I could tell. Fine thing. Now what'll I do?
Why, you could plant another tree.
Please, Lodge, don't be funny. I know. I'll just sink a post into the ground and hang the hammock on that.
Andrews, if you study hard, you're going to be a genius.
Never mind, Lodge. Oh, Mary. Mary!
Yes, dear.
Mary, would you bring out my saw?
Your what?
My saw!
But Archie's using it, dear.
Oh, well, tell him I need it for a few minutes.
All right. Archie! Archie! Yes, Mom? Archie, your father wants the saw. Gee whiz, Mom, I'm using it. Archie, your father needs it. Okay, where is he? On the other side of the house. Okay, I'll send Jug over with it. All right. Fred,
Yes?
Jughead's bringing the saw.
Okay. Now let's see. I had some 2x4s right here. They should make fine posts. And wait a minute. That's funny. They're gone. What? Mary!
Yes?
Have you seen those old 2x4s that were alongside the house?
Yes, dear.
Where are they?
Archie has them.
Arch, now what in the world is he doing with them?
I haven't any idea.
Well, tell him I need a couple of them.
All right.
Here's the saw, Mr. Andrews.
Huh? Oh, thank you, Jug.
You're welcome. And Archie says let him know when you're finished with it.
Yes, I will.
Archie! Yes, Mom? Your father wants some of those 2x4s. Gee whiz, what for? I have no idea. Well, tell him to send Jug back here for the 2x4s. All right. Fred?
Yes?
Archie says to send Jug back.
Well, Jug's already gone back, and tell him to hurry.
All right. Archie! Did Jug get there? Yes, Mom! Well, hurry and send those 2x4s to your father! I already did, Mom! All right, dear.
Here's those 2x4s, Mr. Andrews.
Oh, fine. That's fine, Jug.
And Mr. Andrews,
Yes?
Archie says if you need anything else, just holler.
There. Well, I guess that post is quite solid now.
Well, I don't know. Got to be real strong, you know.
Lodge, I said that post is solid now.
All right, Andrews. If you think it's solid, I won't contradict you.
Okay.
After all, it doesn't matter to me if your hammock falls down.
Lodge, for God's sakes, it's too hot to argue.
Hot? That's funny. I don't feel hot.
Well, if I was just drinking cold lemonade by the gallon and standing in the shade looking important, well, I wouldn't be, Lodge, what is the shade doing over where you are?
I never touched it.
Good grief, the sun's moved. You can't hang a hammock right in the sun.
No, not if you want it in the shade.
Oh, well, for gosh sakes, I guess there's only one thing to do. I'll have to move the hammock to the front lawn. It's always shady there.
Good idea. Well,
I'm certainly glad you approve. Yes, I guess it's the only thing to do. And as for these few holes I made in the lawn, why, they won't matter. They won't matter at all. Will they?
Well, Jug, I guess we're ready now.
Yeah, ready to collapse.
What are you tired about?
You think it's easy running back and forth between you and your father?
What's he doing anyway?
I don't know.
Well, he'll be surprised when I show him this... Gee whiz.
What's the matter?
Jug, the shade is gone.
Gee, so it is.
Jughead, do you know what happened?
What?
The sun moved.
It frequently does, Archie.
Gee whiz. Jug, why didn't you watch the sun?
I've seen it before.
Very funny, very funny. But now do you know what I gotta do?
What?
Move this hammock around to the backyard. It's always shady there.
Good idea.
And as for the few holes I dug here, they won't matter. Won't matter at all. Will they?
Bring that shovel, Lodge.
I am.
Bring that saw, Jug.
I am.
Well, hello, son. Still working?
Yes, Dad. You too?
Yes, but I'm almost finished.
Me too. Well, see you later, Dad.
Yeah, see you later, son.
Well, Jug, there it is. One hammock, complete and ready for use. Oh.
Yeah, you look a little tired.
A little. Jug rigor mortis has already set in. The next time I decide to put up a hammock, put me in a straitjacket, will you?
Okay.
Well, that's nice of you, thanks. But anyway, the job is done now, and I'm just...
Hello, Archie.
Oh, hi, Betty.
Hello, Betty.
Hi, Jug. Well, was it fun, Archie?
Was what fun?
Swimming at the lake?
Oh, that. I never went swimming.
Why not?
I decided to put up this hammock instead. Fool that I am.
A hammock? You decided to put up a hammock?
Well, yes. What's so strange about that? See, here it is. A work of art, if I do say so myself.
Well, yes, but...
And it took plenty of blood, sweat, and tears, too, Betty. From now on, if anyone asks you, you tell them for me. Putting up a hammock is about the most difficult job in the world.
Yes,
but it's finished now, and I intend to spend many a comfortable hour in it. And you can use it, too, Betty. Anytime it's empty, you can come right over and swing in this hammock.
Yes, Archie, but why do you need two hammocks?
Oh, because everybody needs to. Two hammocks? Betty, what are you talking about?
You mean you don't know that your father just finished putting up a hammock on the front lawn? Oh, my goodness, he's fainted.
Yeah, and not everybody can faint right into a hammock.
Oh, Archie, are you all right?
Where am I?
In your hammock.
Oh, don't say that word again, Jug. Betty, tell me, is it true what you said? My dad put up a hammock on the front lawn?
Yes, it is, Archie.
Oh, well, we certainly don't need two hammocks. Jug, hand me that sledgehammer.
But, Archie, you don't know
Jug, give me the hammer. Thanks. Now... That's the end of that post.
Oh, but Archie, what will you hang the hammock on now?
Betty, I'm going to make you a present of this hammock. Here, take it.
Oh, but Archie, your new hammock, I couldn't take that.
You've got to, Betty, as a favor to me. If my father sees it, I'd never hear the end of it.
Well, all right, Archie, if you insist.
I do. And remember, you kids, don't ever breathe a word of this to anyone.
Well, Lodge, it's finally up. There it is. A hammock.
Yes, we did a good job. Even if I do have to say so myself.
We? Lodge, how did you get into this?
Well, now, you will admit, Andrews, that it was all my idea.
Now, listen, Lodge, if you think you can claim all the credit, why, you've got another...
Hello, Mr. Andrews.
Oh, hello, Veronica.
Hello, dear.
What are you doing here, Father?
Oh, just showing Mr. Andrews how to put up a hammock, dear.
A hammock?
Lodge, for the last time, quit trying to take all the credit.
Did you say a hammock?
Andrews, I still insist. Without my help, you couldn't have put it up in a million years.
But I thought Archie was going to put up the hammock.
He was. Lodge, you didn't do a darn thing to help me, and you... Veronica, what did you say?
I said Archie was putting up a hammock, wasn't he?
Was he? Oh, my gosh, I'll bet that's why I couldn't get the... oh, my gosh, did he?
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Andrews, I guess you now have two hammocks.
Two hammocks? Who needs two hammocks? Well, Lodge, there's only one thing to do. Hand me that axe.
This one?
Yes, that one. Thank you. If I never hear the word hammock again, it'll be too soon. There. Ah, that settles that.
Andrews, you've chopped the post down. Now what are you going to hang the hammock on?
Lodge, I am making you a present of this hammock for your invaluable assistance.
But I don't want to...
Take it, Lodge, with my blessing.
Oh, yes, Father. I'd love to have a hammock on our lawn.
Well, all right. Thanks a lot, Andrews.
Don't mention it, please. And, I have just one favor to ask of you and Veronica.
Yes?
Don't ever say a word about this to my family. I never live it down.
Oh, don't worry, Andrews. Don't worry. You can trust us. Well, let's go, Veronica.
Bye, Mr. Andrews.
Goodbye.
Hello, Dad.
No, Archie. Hello, son. Oh, hello, Jughead.
Hello, Mr. Andrews.
Are you finished with your hammock, Dad?
Why, yes, I did. Hammock? Did you say hammock?
Uh-huh.
Why, what hammock?
The one Betty said you were putting up.
Oh, well, she must have been mistaken. You can see there's no hammock here. She must have meant your hammock.
My hammock? Oh, but you must be mistaken, Dad. I haven't any hammock. Now.
What? Archie, tell me the truth. Did you or did you not put up a hammock?
Well, I don't have a hammock now.
Archie, answer my question.
Yes, Dad.
And you didn't... Archie, did you tear that hammock down?
Well, yes, Dad.
Oh, how do these things happen to me? Of all the idiotic, imbecilic things I ever heard, both of us working all afternoon, spending all kinds of money, and then both tearing down the hammocks. Archie,
now, gee whiz, Dad, it's not my fault. You bought a hammock, too,
It most certainly is your fault. Well, maybe it isn't entirely your fault. No.
Well, of course it isn't.
Look, son, I tell you what. Suppose we just forget the whole thing.
Forget it?
Yeah, just pretend the whole thing never happened. And above all, let's not say a word to your mother about this. We'd never hear the end of it.
Okay with me.
You hear that, Jug?
Yes, Mr. Andrews.
And one thing more. I never want to hear the word hammock again.
Me too, Dad.
Fred.
Oh, hello, Mary. Where have you been?
Out shopping. Hello, dear.
Hi, Mom.
Well, did you two finish your work?
Work? Oh, yes, we did, Mary.
Good. Well, I have a wonderful surprise for both of you.
Surprise?
Yes, I got it at Higgins' hardware store. I'm sure you'll just love it. It has an iron stand, and it's portable, and you can put it almost anywhere you
Mary,
want.
just what has an iron stand and is portable?
Why, a hammock, dear. A portable hammock.
You've been listening to another chapter of The Adventures of Archie Andrews, written by Carl Jampel and based on the copyrighted feature appearing in Archie Comics magazine. Archie is played by Bob Hastings, Jughead by Harlan Stone. Others in the cast include Alice Uhrman, Ian Martin, Gloria Mann, and Rosemary Rice. Felix McGuire at the organ. Production was under the direction of Charles Urquhart. And now back to the Andrews.
Fred, for pity's sake, what's so funny?
He broke his arm. Oh, my. Fell right out of the hammock and that broke his arm.
Fred, I don't see anything funny about that. Who broke his arm?
Mr. Higgins, Mary. Mr. Higgins of the hardware store.
Listen next week for more of the merry adventures of Archie Andrews and his friends. And now this is Bob Sherry wishing you a very pleasant weekend. So long! This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Our next broadcast was a family sitcom launched on CBS in 1944. It starred a real-life family, the Nelsons, who consisted of Ozzie and his wife Harriet and their kids, David and Eric. We present to you Ozzie and Harriet, next on HOJO Radio.
America's finest silver plate is 1847 Rogers Brothers. From Hollywood, International Silver Company, creators of 1847 Rogers Brothers silver plate, presents The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, starring young America's favorite couple, Ozzie Nelson and Harriet Hilliard. It's breakfast time as we look in at the Nelson household at 1847 Rogers Road. Harriet and little 5-year-old Ricky are already at the breakfast table. Ozzie and 8-year-old David are... pardon me?
8.5.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry, David. Ozzie and 8.5-year-old David are expected momentarily.
David!
Here I am, Mom. Breakfast is ready. Isn't it a wonderful day today, David?
Sure is, Mom. Move over, Ricky.
You can go out and play just as soon as you finish.
12.
And you can have a nickel for an ice cream cone.
Oatmeal again, huh, Mom?
And what's wrong with oatmeal? It's nutritious, tasty, healthful, and bodybuilding. Wonderful for a growing boy.
Well, then Ricky can have mine. He's got further to grow.
Ricky's practically finished with his breakfast. Enough of that nonsense. Now, I got the oatmeal.
I'm so healthy now I can't sleep nights.
Oh, say, I almost forgot. I bought something yesterday I want to surprise your father with.
What is it, Mom?
A vase.
A what?
An antique vase. I bought it at an auction sale. Here it is.
Jiminy, no, not that.
David, what's the matter?
What is that?
A vase. Just a vase, that's all.
Oh, I thought it was full of oatmeal. And, gee, I bet that thing could hold 1,000,000 pounds of oatmeal.
Oh, David, don't exaggerate. The vase is only 4 feet tall. Oh, here comes your father. I'll put it right in the middle of the table. Surprise him.
Good morning, good morning. Wonderful morning. I've got an appetite like a horse.
You've come to the right place. We got oats.
Shame on you.
And what has my beautiful little wife got for breakfast this glorious morning? Let's see. Oatmeal.
See? Ozzie?
A beautiful, nutritious, tasty, bodybuilding oatmeal.
You really like oatmeal, Pop?
Oh, do I? Yum, yum, yum.
There you are, Mom. You won't have to throw it away after all.
Oh, David, stop acting silly. Here's your orange juice, Ozzie.
Oh, thank you, dear. Gee, that orange juice was good.
Well, why shouldn't the orange juice be good? Here we are in California, where the oranges grow.
Yeah, that's right. Isn't California a wonderful state? Where else can you put your hand out the window into your own backyard and pull it back with 2 or 3 ripe gophers? What's wrong, David? You usually laugh at those funny things I say.
Well, Dad, you already gave me my allowance this week.
Come on, you two. Breakfast is getting cold.
Hey, Mom, Pop hasn't even noticed the new vase.
Never mind, David.
What was that?
Nothing. Only I'm afraid you aren't very observant this morning.
What do you mean?
Well, haven't you noticed anything different?
Noticed anything?
Ozzie Nelson, sometimes I can't help thinking you're just like a man.
Well, as long as there's some resemblance.
You mean to say you don't notice anything different?
Different? Oh, of course, your hair, and I love it that way, too. You should wear it that way more often. Would you pass me...
I haven't done my hair yet this morning.
Sorry. Oh, of course, that dress. Oh, it's lovely, dear. Beautiful. When did you get it?
April 1941.
Before I go, I'll give you a hint, Pop. It's on the table.
On the table?
Yes, do you like it?
Something on this table?
Yes. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Gee, I'm sorry, dear. I can't see a thing. Unless it's behind this... What is this?
Well, it happens to be an antique vase, and it's just what I've been talking about.
Oh, my. Harriet, where did you get this vase?
Guess.
You found it in the tomb of an Egyptian pharaoh.
No.
You won it in a box of Cracker Jack.
No.
Am I getting warm?
A little.
I give up.
I bought it.
That I never would have guessed.
Honey, it only cost me $10. Isn't it beautiful, Ozzie?
Now, Harriet, let's be sensible about this, shall we?
You don't like it, do you?
Well, frankly, dear...
Ozzie Nelson, it happens to be a beautiful vase.
Beautiful? Harriet, let's face it. The guy who designed that made a mockery out of crockery.
Well, it so happens that vase belongs to the early American period, around George Washington's time. It could have a very romantic history. George always brought fresh flowers to Martha. He might have used this vase for that.
Well, he might have used the vase for that, but I heard he chewed a lot of tobacco, too.
That's very funny. But you may as well get used to it, because I've decided to redecorate this entire room using the vase as a central figure.
Why, Harriet, let's be sensible. Why do over an entire room for that old vase?
It'll improve things. For example, I'd like to get rid of that easy chair over there by the fireplace.
But, Harriet, that's my favorite chair.
Oh, Ozzie, it's so shabby.
Well, I know, but gosh, it's taken me years to get that chair just the way I want it. Why, that chair has the same shape now that I have.
You're not kidding. You and the chair dragging in the same place.
Well, I happen to like things just the way they are.
Oh, Ozzie. You're all finished breakfast, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, Gloria! Gloria!
Did you call me, Mrs. Nelson?
Yes, I did, Gloria. We're all finished breakfast in case you want to clear away the dishes.
Gloria, what's your opinion on this? Don't you think it's a little silly going into an extensive redecorating project at this time?
Well, personally, I think very definitely that it... Would you mind repeating the question, please?
Well, let me put it my way, Gloria. Don't you think that things should be changed every so often?
Oh, yes. And dipped in Lux, too.
No, Gloria, Mrs. Nelson was referring to furniture and room decorations.
There seems to be a difference of opinion as to this antique vase I bought downtown. Have you seen it, Gloria?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Gloria. I just got it yesterday. You know, you can pick up some really nice things downtown these days.
Well, I try, but I guess my whistle doesn't carry.
You see, Ozzie, Gloria thinks it's a pretty vase.
Oh, yes. I think it's a beautiful sight.
Well, I give up. To me, it looks like a huge bottle of beer.
Well, to me, that's a beautiful sight. I better get at these dishes. I'll see you later.
Honestly, though, dear, don't you think it'd be better to wait till it gets a little cooler before we do over the room?
Oh, certainly. We don't have to do it right away. In fact, I'd like to shop around a little first and get some more ideas.
Well, in the meantime, why don't I take this out to the storeroom in the garage and give you a chance to forget to think about it a little more?
Well, okay, but be sure and go out the front way with it. The grass is wet and back. You might slip and break the vase.
That's funny. I was thinking the same thing myself. Rearranging furniture, antique vases, women.
Hello, Mr. Nelson.
Oh, hello there, Emmy Lou.
What have you got there?
Well, this is an antique vase that Mrs. Nelson bought. I'm taking it out to the garage to store it.
Do you mind if I look at it?
No, go ahead. Although you look so young to suffer.
Just what kind of a vase is it, Mr. Nelson?
I don't know, Emmy Lou. I think it's a Grecian urn.
What's a Grecian urn? What's a Grecian urn?
It depends on where he works. You get it? What's the Grecian urn?
Yes, I get it. It's pretty hot today, isn't it, Mr. Nelson? Can you carry that vase down the steps without dropping it?
I'm afraid so. It's a fine time for David's roller skates not to be here.
Oh, I saw David swap his roller skates to Bobby for a hammer.
I could use a hammer now, too.
What are you going to do with the vase?
I don't know. Let's just set it in the middle of the lawn and throw rocks at it, shall we?
Why are you so bitter about it, Mr. Nelson?
Well, it's this way. It isn't enough that Harriet bought this idiotic vase. Now she's going to do over the entire room to fit it.
Oh, well, why don't you drop it? You know, sort of accidental-like, and then tell Mrs. Nelson that you couldn't help it. Tell her you tripped and fell down, that it was an accident.
Would you believe a story like that?
Of course.
Gosh, how women change when they get married. No, Emmy Lou, I'm afraid my wife knows me wouldn't go for that.
Well, then I've got another idea, Mr. Nelson.
What's that?
I'd insist that she return the vase. And if she got mad, I'd let her go home to her mother. And I'd refuse to let her take the children. And she'd sue you for custody of the children. And if it looked like she was going to win, you know what I'd do?
What?
I'd let her keep the vase. There's no use being stubborn. I think you're foolish to break up your marriage for a vase you couldn't get more than a few dollars for.
Well, that's right, Emmy. A few dollars for it. Well, say, I could sell it. But what if Harry... No, she wouldn't. And if she did, I'd tell her that somebody... Emmy, thanks very much for the suggestion. Give me that vase, will you? That's a wonderful idea.
You mean you're going to sell the vase?
Absolutely. Emmy Lou, there comes a time in every man's life when he has to be daring and take a terrible risk.
I hate to bring this up, Mr. Nelson, but have you got something in mind in case Mrs. Nelson finds out about this?
Well, of course I've got something in mind.
What is it?
A one-way ticket on the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe.
Well, say, while you're on that one-way trip, Ozzie, you might spend a little time thinking about 1847 Rogers Brothers silver plate. Who knows? Someday it might be the means of getting you back home to wife and family again. Seriously, though, this lovely silver plate is worth thinking about, folks, and worth planning for, too. It has beauty, richness, quality. A name that's almost 100 years old. A reputation as America's finest silver plate. Its patterns show details unknown to silver plate before. The high raised ornamentation, the pierced knife handles, the heavier balance. These are the features which show that men of imagination as well as skill are creators of this lovely silver plate. They are the features that keep 1847 Rogers Brothers America's finest silver plate. And here are the lovely King sisters riding out on Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe.
Do you hear that whistle down the line? I figure that it's engine number 49. She's the only one that'll sound that way on the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. See the old smoke rising round the bend. I reckon that you know she's gonna meet a friend. Folks around these parts get the time of day from the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. Here she comes. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hey, Jim, you better get the ring. Ooh, 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 ooh. She's got a list of passengers that's pretty big, and they all want to live to the Brown Hotel. 'Cause plenty of them been traveling for quite a spell, all the way from Philadelphia on the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. All aboard, all aboard. Train's going west, train's going west. Tickets, tickets. Can't go nowhere without tickets. Do you hear that whistle down the line? The hooey, the hooey, sounds fine. She's the only one that's going to sound that away on the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. Here she comes, she's coming. Hey, Jim, you better get the ring. She's got a list of passengers that's pretty big. They all want to live to the hotels. They want to rest quite a spell. Come all the way from Philadelphia on the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. Do, 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 do. You can get to Albuquerque without a jerk on the Atchison, Topeka, Santa Fe.
And now back to the Nelsons. For a change, Ozzie has put himself out on a limb. Instead of taking the antique vase, which is Harriet's pride and joy, out to the garage, he's decided to save himself a little physical labor in the future by following that old slogan, out of sight, out of mind. And we find him now going into Mr. McQueen's antique shop to sell the vase.
Gosh, loaded with junk. Doesn't seem to be anybody around here either.
Just be patient, sir. Just be patient. I'm busy.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. What are you doing?
I'm crocheting a tea cozy. You interrupted me just as I was going around the spout, darn it. There. Now, what can I do for you?
Well, I've come to see you about an antique.
Oh, you've come to the right place, sir. We're a member of the National Antique Dealers. Of course, you're familiar with the slogan of the National Antique Dealers. The older the better, except in a sweater. Let's see what you've got there.
I have here a very fine old antique vase dating back to...
About 1922.
1922?
Well, it's really older than that, but I don't want to seem too eager.
You'll have to admit it's beautiful, though.
Well, I wouldn't say it was beautiful, but it has a certain horrid fascination that women go for. You want to sell it to me?
Yes, I do. Would you be interested in buying it?
What do you want for it?
What did you give me for it?
I asked you first.
Okay, make me an offer.
50 cents. What's your price?
$50. Shall we compromise?
All right, I'll double my offer. $1.
Okay, I'll cut my price in half, $25.
I should have started by offering you a dime for it.
Hey, just look it over and see how lovely it is.
Very shabby condition.
Yes, did you ever see anything so gorgeously broken down? Just look at those beautiful chips and cracks in it. Tell you the truth, this is one of the most antique antiques I've ever seen.
Oh, dear, I do wish Mr. Cameron were here.
Who's he?
He's the fellow who owned the store 19 years ago. He was an expert on vases.
Well, can't you get in touch with him?
Oh, no, he died 12 years ago.
Well, if...
Never had a sick day in his life. Very tragic. Left a wife and 3 children.
Well, I wanted... Any insurance?
Not a cent.
What happened to his family?
Well, his widow later married a well-to-do businessman who owned his own buttonhole factory in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Then they're getting along all right now.
Well, the youngest son had measles when he was 6, and their house was attacked by termites in 1934. But everything was just dandy the last I heard.
Well, the next time you write, will you remember me to them?
I certainly will.
Oh, thank you. It's been a pleasure to meet you, Mr. McQueen.
The pleasure's been all mine, Mr. Nelson.
Oh, goodbye, Mr. McQueen.
Goodbye, Mr. Nelson.
Oh, say, by the way, what about the vase?
I'll give you $5 for it.
Sold.
Hello, Pop. How long have you been home?
Oh, about an hour.
Sure look proud of yourself this afternoon, Pop.
Well, David, I just did something pretty smart, even for your old man. Yes, sir, one thing every man should learn is the psychology of women.
What's that, Dad?
Well, suppose you're married to some woman, and one day she comes up to you and says, David, I want to buy a fur coat. Now, what would you say?
Well, I'd say, okay, if I can get a baseball bat.
No, David, that's where the psychology comes in. You try to make the woman forget what it is she wanted. You know what I mean?
Oh, like the time Mother wanted that string of pearls.
Exactly.
And every time she mentioned them, you kept talking about everything else.
That's right.
They look pretty on her, don't they?
Well, David, I don't win all the time.
No, but she does. By the way, where is Mom?
I don't know. I've been waiting for her myself. She must still be out shopping, I guess.
Well, I'll see you later, Pop.
Oh, Ozzie!
In here, Harriet.
Ozzie, I have the most wonderful surprise for you. Guess what I bought?
What?
A vase.
I know you showed it to me this morning, don't you remember?
Oh, no, this is another vase. I have it out in the car.
Another vase?
Yes, another vase.
Harriet, darling, please, not another vase.
Yes, Ozzie, another vase.
That's a funny joke, pretending you bought another vase. See, I'm laughing. Now tell me, not another vase.
Well, yes, darling, another vase.
But we've already got a vase.
Well, that's what makes it so perfect. This vase is a mate to the one I bought this morning.
A mate? Harriet, these things aren't going to turn out to be like rabbits, are they?
Oh, silly. Ozzy, I'm anxious to compare the two vases. Would you go out in the garage and get the other one?
Well, but Harriet, why should I go to all the trouble of going to the garage and bringing that one back? I could take this one out to the garage and then just snap a picture or something.
Ozzy, stop joking. Get the vase from the garage.
Why are you so suspicious?
What are you talking about? My goodness, if you don't want to get it, I'll go out and get
No, don't. I'll get it. You just wait right here.
I'm sorry, Mr. Nelson, but really I sold that vase 10 minutes after you left the store.
Oh, but I've got to have that vase back. My wife insists upon
But we have so many other beautiful things here in the store. Oh, would you be interested in a genuine antique music box that plays Goodbye, Little Yellow Bird, Goodbye?
No.
Please, I haven't finished yet. Little Yellow Bird, $37.50.
No. I tell you, I've got to have that vase. I've got to, I tell you. I've just... Have you ever been married?
Is this a proposal?
Listen, I wasn't going to tell you this, but I guess I'll have to. My wife is a lady wrestler.
Really?
Exactly. And she said if I don't buy the vase back, she'll break every bone in my body.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so? She sounds positively vicious. Now, let's see. The woman who bought the vase didn't leave her name, but I've got her address. Yes, here it is. Now, you wait right here. I'll go over and see if I can buy it back from her.
Oh, thanks, old man. You'll never know what this means to me. My bones knit so slowly.
But, Mr. McQueen, I want the vase myself. And besides, my husband would be very angry if I sold it.
Well, madam, I wouldn't ask this, but if you only knew how desperately this man needs the vase, how frightened he is.
You mean of his wife?
His wife.
Oh, is she really a lady wrestler?
Wrestling the wind-up at the Legion Stadium Monday night.
Oh, and would she really...
You should see the scars he has on him already.
Oh, my.
And he's such a nice fellow, too.
Tell me, why does such a nice fellow marry such a terrible woman?
Well, if you ask me, madam, he is a nice fellow, but he doesn't look very bright.
Oh, the poor man. Okay, I'll sell you the vase for $20.
And so the vase will cost you $25, Mr. Nelson. But I finally convinced her to sell it back.
Oh, fine. She sounds like such a nice girl.
Oh, she is. She sold it to me even though she was afraid of what her husband would do when he found out.
Why does such a nice girl marry a brute like that?
Well, between you and me, Mr. Nelson, she's a nice girl, but she hasn't got very good taste. Otherwise, she never would have bought a terrible vase like this.
I didn't think of that. A woman who likes a vase like that, imagine the kind of husband she'd pick out. Well, say, that reminds me, I got to get back to Harriet with this vase. Well, so long, I got to dash. Darn that stoplight. Oh, Harriet.
Dear, where in the world have you been?
Well, I tell you, I went to the garage a long way, and what a job. It was hidden behind the... Well, anyway, I finally got it.
Got what?
With the vase. Look.
Oh, you shouldn't have bothered.
But you said you shouldn't have bothered.
Well, while you were gone, I decided not to redecorate the room after all. You see, I don't know quite how to tell you this, dear, but I accidentally broke the vase.
You broke it?
Yes, I tripped over one of David's roller skates and dropped it.
But David swapped his roller
What'd
skates.
you say, dear?
I just wanted to remind you that it's only 6 months and 10 days until George Washington's birthday.
Oh. Ozzy, I've got something to tell you.
Yes?
I didn't tell you the truth about that vase.
Uh-huh.
I didn't break it. I sold it back to the same place I bought it. McQueen's Antique Shop.
Queens.
There. I knew I couldn't sleep tonight with that on my mind.
Harriet, I forgive you. And I'm very glad you told me the truth. Because the successful marriage is based on mutual confidence and trust. When the ship of matrimony sails forth on the sea of life, we must avoid the hidden shoals of deceit.
Ozzy, that's beautiful.
Thank you. Now I want to confess something to you also.
What, dear?
Well, this afternoon, for a moment I was tempted, just tempted, mind you, to sell that vase and not tell you.
Oh. Well, don't you give it another thought, because I forgive you.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
That's all right, dear. Ozzy.
Yes, Harriet, anything bothering you?
Well, just one thing, darling.
What is it, honey?
Why did you tell the man I was a lady wrestler?
Well,
Ozzy and Harriet Hilliard will be back in just a moment. Meantime, if sometime in the not-too-distant future you hear a sound like this...
How long has we been here?
Don't get excited. It's just some of those 8 million brides we have meeting at the same place with the same idea in mind, namely...
I'd like to see a service of 1847 Rogers Brothers silver plate.
Me too. I've waited a long, long time for this day.
What a day it will be. What a wonderful day when you can really go to your silverware dealers and get the fine silver plate you've been dreaming about and planning for ever since the war began. Because 1847 is America's finest silver plate. It's lovely and warm, in many instances even unique. No other silver plate pattern, for example, can match the fine open-work knife handles and delicate contours of Eternally Yours. In fact, these distinctive features of design and construction have been seldom achieved even in the finest solid silver. That's the kind of silver plate you'll want to see in your home after the war, so wait for it. If you're one of those war brides, make your first post-war purchase Eternally Yours, created by 1847 Rogers Brothers.
You know, I guess I was pretty silly for making such a fuss about this vase in the first place. It's really not bad looking. Let me have it, will you, Harriet?
Well, here it is, but be careful, dear. It's big, but it's rather delicate.
Say, couldn't we use this as a wall decoration?
Oh, no, dear, I don't think so.
Well, we could use it to keep flowers in, couldn't we?
I think it's a little big for that.
Say, I have an idea. We could use it as an umbrella stand. That is in case we ever move to Florida.
Well, perhaps.
Or I tell you, we could... Makes a nice bunch of little ashtrays, too, doesn't it?
International Silver Company, creators of 1847 Rogers Brothers silver plate, invite you to listen to the adventures of Ozzy and Harriet next Sunday over your CBS station. And don't forget, America's finest silver plate is 1847 Rogers Brothers. This program originates in the Hollywood studios of the Columbia Broadcasting System and is also broadcast over the Trans-Canada Network of Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. This adventure of Ozzy and Harriet will be transmitted to our men and women overseas by shortwave and through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Appearing in support of Ozzy and Harriet were the four King sisters, Bea Benaderet, Louise Erickson, John Brown, and Joel Davis. Original music was by Billy May. Vern Smith speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Keep it tuned right here to HOJO Radio for more classic old-time radio.
America's finest silver plate is 1847 Rogers Brothers. From Hollywood, International Silver Company, creators of 1847 Rogers Brothers silver plate, presents The Adventures of Ozzy and Harriet, starring young America's favorite couple, Ozzy Nelson and Harriet Hilliard. again, let us visit the Nelsons at 1847 Rogers Road. As we join Ozzie and Harriet, they've just finished breakfast. Ozzie is reading the morning paper.
What you reading, dear? The funny page?
Now, why do you say that? Does it ever occur to you that I might be reading the editorial page or the financial page?
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. What are you reading?
The funny page. You know something? They must have used a lot of care the way they place these comic strips.
What do you mean?
But now just look at little Abner and Dick Tracy. Who else besides Breathless Mahoney could exist next to the little stinker?
Oh, that episode's been finished for weeks. You must have an old paper there.
I don't think so. Oh, by golly, you're right. Oh, sure, I remember reading this article here. Incidentally, it's very unusual.
Oh, really? What's it about?
It's about a dog by the name of Dice Game. She had 8 puppies.
Well, what's so unusual about that?
She did it the hard way, 2 4s.
Oh, Ozzie, that's silly. Morning, Mother. Morning, Dad. Good morning, David.
Hello, son.
Did you sleep well last night?
Like a log.
Just fine. How was breakfast?
Well?
Coffee was wonderful. And how are you feeling? Fine, dear.
Great.
Then I'd like to ask you for a raise in my allowance. Okay? Gee, thanks.
No. Not right so fast. Tell me, how much are you getting now?
50 cents a week, Dad.
And how much do you want?
75 cents a week.
Oh, I'm sorry, David. It's absolutely out of the question.
Why, Dad?
Well, just think, David, how would it look if you were getting a bigger allowance than me?
Say, why all this sudden need for money anyway, David? Well, I got expenses. Like going down to the store and getting sodas.
Oh, I see. And you usually take that little girl down the block, don't you? Sally Kinney?
Yes, I do.
And do you pay for her sodas?
Oh, no, we're not that serious.
Well, I still think that 50 cents is plenty for an 8-year-old boy.
David, Daddy's just trying to tell you that you should learn the value of money. Well, that's just it, Mom. You want me to be thrifty and save my money, don't you? Yes. Well, I spend it all now, but if I got an extra quarter, then I'd have something to save. How about it? Well, I don't know. It's up to your father. What do you say, Pop?
Well, David, when I was your age...
Oh, Pop, not one of those stories. Now, David, if you want to get a raise, you've got to listen to your father's story.
Oh, well, it's not compulsory, you know, Harriet.
Oh, Ozzie, don't be so sensitive. Well, then tell me all about when you were my age, Pop.
Well, I'm out of the mood. But I do think you're old enough to earn part of your spending money. Now, when I was your age...
He's back in the mood again.
Now, Harriet, please.
I'll tell you, David, I know what he did when he was your age as well as he does. When your father was your age, he cut the grass every Saturday. The lawn was 150 feet deep and 75 feet wide.
78
feet wide. And full of the roughest, toughest, hardest to cut grass in the state.
And a lot of little stones that always caught in a lawnmower.
Who's telling this story, dear?
Oh, excuse me, go ahead.
But all he got for cutting all that grass was 10 cents. And sometimes he had a hard time collecting it, too.
I'll tell you what I'll do, David. Our lawn is much smaller, but I'll give you 25 cents to cut it.
Still thanks, Pop.
Well, suppose I make it 35 cents.
The lawn next door is smaller than ours, but they offered me 50 cents to cut it.
What are they trying to do, ruin the child labor market?
David, your father used to go from door to door selling magazines, soap, perfume, hair tonics, snake oil, rheumatism remedies.
No, I didn't. The snake oil, but not the rheumatism remedies.
Well, at any rate, David, you can see that your father was very industrious at your age.
And that's the way I think you ought to be, David. Go out and use your head. Sell something. Sell anything. It's very good training for you.
Then I guess I don't get the raise, huh?
Well, David, I feel you ought to earn the money for yourself somehow. It's for your own good.
Okay, but I wish you wouldn't think about my own good so much. See you later.
You know, he's a good little guy, isn't he?
He sure is. Would you like another cup of coffee, Ozzie?
Yes, I would, if you don't mind.
I don't mind, but does Gloria mind? Gloria? Oh, Gloria! Did you call me, Mrs. Nelson? Yes, I did, Gloria. We'd like some more coffee. It's very good.
Yes, it certainly was.
Well, isn't there any more, Gloria?
No, Mr. Nelson. There was just enough for the three of us. A cup for you and a cup for Mrs. Nelson and 5 cups for me.
Well, that's life, I suppose.
Didn't I just hear you talking to David?
Yes, he just went out. I was having a little talk with him about money.
Did you get any from him, Mr. Nelson?
No, Gloria. Mr. Nelson was merely trying to explain the value of money to David. We probably should have explained to him how to budget his allowance. You keep a budget, don't you, Gloria?
Oh, of course I keep a budget. I've been keeping a budget for 10 years. Every time I spend any money, I put it right down in one column. And every time I make any money, I put it right down in the other column.
Well, that's very wise, Gloria.
Oh, yeah. You know something, Mrs. Nelson?
What?
Someday I'm going to add it all up.
How is it you learned to be so thrifty, Gloria?
Well, I had to support myself from a very early age. You see, my father drank all the time. He was always stinking from drinking.
Oh, that's too bad.
But then one day my mother gave him the cure.
Oh, she gave him the cure, huh? Was it permanent?
Oh, it was permanent, all right. She used a shotgun.
Well, that sounds permanent enough.
Well, I better clear these dishes away. My boyfriend Elmer's coming over in a little while.
Say, I haven't seen him around lately. What's he been doing?
The same old thing. Loafing.
But last week you told me he had a job.
Oh, he did. But it only lasted one day. He worked in the ladies' department store as a window decorator.
Well, why did he quit?
He found out those women in the windows weren't real. Well, I'll see you later.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Sonny. Oh, here's the order from the grocery store.
I'll take it, mister. Gee, look, you got a big hole in your coat.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just tore it. And I got a date with my girl in a half an hour. I'm really in a spot.
Say, I've got an idea. Would you want another coat?
Well, you ain't exactly my size, Junior.
No, I mean one of my father's. He's got some old ones that are in very good shape. I could sell you one.
Ah, that's a great idea. Hey, look, see if you can find a blue one with a red stripe to go with these green pants.
I'll find you a good one, all right. But, of course, I'll have to charge you a lot of money for it. As much as $1.
Well, I'm a sport. Go get it. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Are you sure this is okay with your old man?
Oh, yes. He told me I was supposed to do this. He said, sell something and make some money. Wait here, I'll get the coat for you.
Are you glad to see me, Lana?
Sure I am, Joe. And you look so wonderful, too. Jake, that's a nice coat you got on.
Oh, it's just a little something I had made.
Well, maybe you better take it off, Joe. It's kind of warm in here.
Yeah. Especially when I'm sitting next to you, Lana. Okay, I'll take it off. Now, let me put my arms around you, honey.
Now, Joe. Oh, my goodness. That must be Heyman outside the door. Quick, go down the fire escape. Heyman is 6 feet tall.
I'll hide in the closet.
No, down the fire escape.
Why can't I hide in the closet?
Well, okay, but the guy in there is even bigger.
Well, you talked me into it, Lana. It's down the fire escape for me.
Coming, Heyman, just a minute.
Where is he?
Now, take it easy, Heyman. There's nobody here.
Don't give me that. I hate a guy talking in here.
Oh, that. Oh, that was just an announcer on the radio. Oh, you're so cute. Come on, sit down, Heyman. Relax. Let me stuff up your muscles.
Okay, lad, I'm sorry. I guess I... Hey, wait a minute. Whose coat is that?
What coat?
That one right there with the tweed buttons. So you was two-timing me, huh?
Calm down.
Oh,
Henry.
yeah? Well, Oh, look, here's the guy's name, right here by the inside pocket. Ozzie Nelson, huh?
Oh, no.
Ozzie Nelson. 1847 Rogers Road.
No, Heyman, you're making a mistake.
Oh, yeah? Ozzie Nelson. I'll break that rat's neck.
It's time for those lovely singing stars, the famous King Sisters.
Someday he'll come along, the man I love. He'll be big and strong, man I love. And when he comes my way, I'll do my best to make him stay. He'll look at me and smile, I'd understand. And in a little while he'll take my hand. And though it seems absurd, I know we both won't say a word. Maybe I will meet him someday. Maybe Monday. Maybe not. Still, I'm sure to meet him someday. Maybe today will be my good news day. We'll build a little home just for two, from which I'll never roam. Would you? And so all else above, I'm waiting for the man I love. Maybe I will meet him someday. Maybe Monday. Maybe not. But I'm sure to meet him on Sunday. Maybe Tuesday will be my good news day. We'll build a little home in Brooklyn Heights, a cozy one-room nest, walk-up 10 flights. And so all else above, I'm waiting for the man I love. Love that man. We'll build a little home that's just meant for two. I'd hesitate before I'd roam. I never want to leave again, boy, with you. And so all else above, I'm waiting for the man I love.
That was the King Sisters doing their bit for romance. And now the orchestra changes to the traditional romantic theme.
I pronounce you man and wife. I pronounce you man and wife. I pronounce you man and wife.
Yes, it's wonderful, friends, wonderful. Every GI and his girl getting married. Every GI and his girl going home at last, to the home they planned and dreamed about, lo, these many years. A home tastefully furnished with things they can be proud of for many, many years. Things like the silver plate of 1847 Rogers Brothers. There is silver plate that brings you beauty, imaginative design, lasting pleasure and satisfaction. In fact, everything about 1847 silver plate is so unusual and so fine that once you've seen it, you just can't be satisfied with any other silver plate. And it won't be long before your silverware dealer has it in stock for you. So wait for that day. Don't choose any silver plate for your new home until you've seen the finest. 1847 Rogers Brothers Silver Plate. And now back to Ozzie and Harriet. Well, it certainly looks as though little David Nelson started something when he sold his father's coat to the delivery man. Poor Ozzie. Little does he know that his coat with his name in it has been discovered in glamorous Lana Shanahan's apartment by none other than Herman, Lana's jealous boyfriend. Poor Ozzie. Oh, well. Meanwhile, blissfully ignorant of his unfortunate predicament, our hero is casually strolling down the street.
Goodbye, little yellow man.
Mr. Nelson.
Oh, hello, Emmy Lou. Hey, what's wrong? You look as though you just lost your best Woody Herman record.
Oh, I'm very unhappy, Mr. Nelson. I've got such a terrible problem, and I don't know what to do. I'm so terribly inexperienced. I need advice from someone like you.
Someone like me?
Mm-hmm. I'm so very young, and you're so very old.
Well, thanks, but what's the trouble, Emmy Lou?
Well, it's about my boyfriend, Larry. He was at the movies with another girl last night, and it seems so hard to believe what he told me. Mr. Nelson, do you think that men tell the truth?
Well, they're about as truthful as women.
Oh, the nasty fibbers. I had such faith in Larry, too. He wanted to take me to the movies last night, and I explained to him what an awful headache I had and how desperately ill I felt. I never dreamed he'd go to the movies with someone else.
Well, are you sure he was there, Emmy Lou?
Oh, positive. Coming back from the Palladium, Charlie and I saw him. You just can't trust men.
It certainly looks that way.
Men. You know, sometimes I get so mad.
That you wish there were no men?
Oh, no, I never get that mad.
Well, I guess the best thing for you to do is try and win Larry back.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. I've just been downtown shopping, and I bought some wonderful perfume. They had 4 different kinds to choose from.
Oh, what were they called?
Come hither, come nearer, come closer.
And the last one?
Where do we go from here?
Emmy Lou, I'm positive that you bought some of that. Where do we go from here?
You're right, Mr. Nelson. Here, do you want to smell it?
Okay, I'll take a little sniff. Oh, my gosh. That's some perfume.
Well, that was nothing, Mr. Nelson. Wait till you take the cork out.
Is that the stuff you're going to try to win Larry back with?
Mm-hmm. Do you think this perfume will make Larry notice me?
Even if you leave the city. Yeah, I mean, Lou, you better take this stuff back before it overwhelms me.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Nelson. It spilled all over you.
Oh, that's all right, Emmy Lou. Nothing to worry about. It'll dry up.
But what will Mrs. Nelson think if you come home with all that perfume? Won't she think that...
Oh, no, of course not. Don't give it another thought. Mrs. Nelson trusts me implicitly. Don't worry about it, Emmy. And good luck with Larry.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Is Mr. Nelson in?
No, I'm sorry. He's not in right now.
That's too bad. I wanted to strangle him.
Well, he should be back in about... What?
You heard me, lady. I'm here to get that skunk.
Why? Who are you, the little stinker? Is this a joke or something?
This here ain't no joke. This here Ozzie Nelson has been running around with my girl, see?
My husband running around with your girl?
That's right, sister. And I intend to put a stop to that.
Oh, you must be mistaken. My husband is the most faithful man that breathes.
I intend to put a stop to that, too.
Well, now, look, I'm sure there must be some mistake.
There's no mistake. Your husband is trying to beat my time with Lana Shanahan, the most beautiful dame in the world.
Oh, really? How's he making out?
Listen, 3/4 of an hour ago, he was sitting on her davenport pitching wool at her. Oh, I feel sorry for you, Mrs. Nelson.
What for? I think it's all sort of funny.
Oh, your husband's a goner now. Once the man meets Lana Shanahan, he's never the same.
Oh, you mean he'll throw rocks at me when he comes home? Oh, look, I'm sorry, but I just know you're mistaken. My husband is a very nice person, and I trust him absolutely and completely.
Well, no guy can steal my guile and get away with it.
But I tell you, it couldn't have been Ozzie. Believe me, you're just making a wolf out of a cocker spaniel.
Lady, I ain't just guessing. I got proof. Here, take a look at this coat here. Does this coat look familiar to you?
Well, yes, it does.
It's your husband's, ain't it?
Yes, it's Ozzie's coat, all right. I'd recognize his shoulders anywhere.
Well, I found this coat up in my girl's apartment.
Oh, look, this whole thing is ridiculous. I don't care how many of these coats you found there.
I got plenty more evidence, sister. The guy at my girl's place had kind of a low voice.
Well, it might be Ozzie.
He had a sort of a silly giggle.
Well, it might be Ozzie.
And he was making passionate love to her.
You got the wrong guy.
Lady, there ain't no use trying to protect your husband. As soon as he pokes his nose in that door, I'm gonna beat him to a pulp.
Well, I'm just warning you, my husband knows jiu-jitsu.
No politician's gonna help him out of this.
But will you at least give Ozzie a chance to explain when he comes in?
I ain't giving him nothing. When he walks in that door, I'm gonna...
Oh, hello, dear. I see you have company.
I'll say you got company. And I ain't leaving here till I crush the life out of a Satan rat.
Oh, the man from the exterminators.
Well, not exactly, dear. This man came here to exterminate you. He claims that you've been romancing his girlfriend and you were with her this afternoon.
Why, that's silly, Harriet. Surely you don't believe him.
Oh, of course not, but he
Wait
says
a minute. Where was you this afternoon, chum?
Well, I was just out walking.
There, you see, he was out walking. Say, let me smell you a minute, Ozzie. What were you out walking with, a halibut?
Just as I thought. Lana Shanahan's pipe.
No, just a second. That's not Lana's perfume. That's some other girl's perfume.
Little man, you've had a busy day.
No. That's not what I meant at all. I can explain everything if you just give me a chance.
Okay, I'll give you a chance. Is this your coat?
Yeah, sure, that's my coat.
Well, explain this. What was it doing in my girlfriend Lana's apartment?
I'm sure I don't know, and I don't know your girlfriend Lana.
A likely story. I should have punched you when you first walked in. Why,
just a minute. Whom do you think you're pushing around?
Home? You? That's home?
Is that so?
Yeah, that's so. I got a good mind to punch you right in the nose.
You do, and I'll bleed all over you.
Oh, now look, why don't you two be sensible? Listen, mister, I have an idea. Suppose I assure you that it'll never happen again. That you have my word that my husband will never again bother your girlfriend, Lana. Would that satisfy you?
Wow.
Well, suppose I promise to put a collar and leash on him and never let him out of the house without me.
A collar and leash, huh? Yeah, that's good. Okay, lady, I'll settle for that. So long, folks. I'll be getting back to Lana now.
Oh, gee, honey, that was a clever way to get rid of him. Saying you were going to put a collar and a leash on me. You know, dear, I'm never going to... Yes, dear.
What size neck have you got?
Now, Harriet, you can't really believe that silly story about that fellow's girlfriend.
Well, what do you expect me to believe? Having all that perfume on you and not knowing how your coat got into her apartment?
If you'll just let me explain, the perfume was spilled on me accidentally by Emmy Lou. As for the coat, I can't possibly imagine how it got there.
Hello, Mother. Hi, Dad. Hello, son.
Hello, Lana.
Hey, where'd you get that lollipop? It's the size of a small manhole cover.
It cost me 50 cents, Mom. I earned some extra spending money like Pop told me.
Well, that's fine, son. I'm proud of you. How did you make the money?
Well, it was a cinch.
I sold an old coat of yours to the delivery man.
Hey, tell me, David, was this coat here on the chair the one you sold?
Gee, that's the one, all right. How'd it get back here? Didn't the fellow like it?
No, he liked it all right. I'll tell you about it later, David. Right now, there's something I want to discuss with your mother.
Oh, now, Arthur, you don't think I really believed a word of what that man said? You know me well enough for that.
Harriet.
Yes, dear?
What size neck have you got?
The end of the war means many things to the silversmiths of 1847 Rogers Brothers, but it means one thing in particular. It means that they have already returned to the job they love, the creation of 1847 Rogers Brothers, America's finest silver plate. In the bitter, frightful years of war, their fine craftsmanship was devoted to turning out fighting equipment and life-saving equipment for our armed forces. But they're now back at their old tasks, creating silver plate that's the last word in loveliness. Silver plate that can't fail to give you a sense of complete enjoyment. So, friends, if you're planning to get silver plate, my advice is to wait until 1847 Rogers Brothers is again at your silverware dealers. That day is not far off. Sooner than you think, you'll be able to go in and ask to see 1847's unique patterns. The pattern Adoration, for example, which was such a pre-war favorite. Adoration has the high raised ornamentation and deep etching so like solid silver. It has the streamlined contours, the delicate chasing, and the exquisite finish that make it truly a prize in silver plate. A prize it will pay you to wait for. So remember the pattern name, Adoration. The creator, 1847 Rogers Brothers.
Now you see, Harriet, you are convicting me on purely circumstantial evidence.
All right. I forgive you, dear. Answer the door, please.
Okay. You forgive me. I should be forgiving you.
I knew you'd be sensible. Thank you, dear.
Yes?
Are you Ozzie Nelson?
Yes.
You are, huh? Are these yours?
Holy smokes, my pants. Where'd you... Harriet.
Yes, dear?
I think we'll just have to give David a raise in his allowance.
Silver Company, creators of 1847 Rogers Brothers Silver Plate, invite you to listen again next Sunday to the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, with songs by the King Sisters and music by Ozzie Nelson's orchestra. And don't forget, America's finest silver plate is 1847 Rogers Brothers. This program originates in the Hollywood studios of the Columbia Broadcasting System and is also broadcast over the Trans-Canada Network of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. This adventure of Ozzie and Harriet will be transmitted to our men and women overseas by shortwave and through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service.
High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of Space Patrol. Next on HOJO Radio.
Wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Wilson present Space Patrol. High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol. In today's transcribed adventure, Buzz and Happy are stranded on the Martian desert, 100 miles from the nearest city. They've just come to an expanse of tiny green plants carpeting the desert for miles.
Something's wrong with my throat, Commander. It feels tight. It's hard to breathe.
Mine's the same way, Happy.
It couldn't be the dust coming up from the ground, sir.
No, it comes from the plants. Every time you take a step, the plants shoot out spores, poisoning the atmosphere.
It's getting worse, Commander.
What's still worse, these are poisonous lichens.
Poison? What are we going to do, sir? We can't go back.
Well, if we go on, these plant spores will paralyze our breathing muscles. We'll suffocate.
We'll be back in just a moment with today's Space Patrol story, The Electronic Burglar. Say, you want to have some fun, gang? Well, listen to this jet cycle. There's nothing in the tank but ordinary fuel, and here's the result. Just a putt-putt. That's all it is with ordinary fuel, but pour in some super fuel. Wow, that jet cycle is
Yes, sir, gang, when it comes to supercharging, you need super fuel. And the same thing is true of you, especially in the morning when you haven't had a bite to eat for hours. So to really get up ahead of steam, to really get set for a lightning takeoff, you have to get supercharged. And here's Buzz Corey's way of doing it. He eats a good breakfast with Rice Chex or Wheat Chex, the super cereals that help to supercharge you. Bite-sized Chex. Chex, the cereals that taste so good. Chex, the cereals that are so crisp, so absolutely different. So take a tip from Buzz Corey. Eat a good breakfast with a super cereal and get supercharged. The super cereals, Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. Even on the man-made planet Terra itself, few citizens are aware of the existence of the Maris Design and Development Company. Yet from Mercury to Pluto, there's hardly a man, woman, or child whose life isn't made more secure and pleasant because of the engineering know-how in the creation of electronic devices by the Maris Company. And so when Howard Maris reported that his Terra offices had been burglarized, Commander Corey assumed personal charge of the investigation. Right now, Buzz and Happy are standing before the damaged door of the Maris Company vault, questioning the perplexed and worried executive, Howard Maris.
I can't understand why the alarm system didn't work. I set it myself last night, just as I always do.
How do you set it?
There's a lock switch in my private office. Once that switch is set, nobody can force an entrance to the building without setting off the alarm.
But what if somebody had the key to the outside doors?
If they used it before regular opening time, even a key would set off the alarm.
The only sign of force, inside or out, is at the vault door. Mr. Maris, are you positive you set the alarm switch last night?
Absolutely. And the alarm did work, you know.
Yes, but several hours too late. By the time our men got here, the metal on the Endurium door had cooled where the atomo torch had melted it.
It's the most baffling thing I've ever run into, Commander.
Mm-hmm. One fact is pretty clear, Mr. Maris.
Yes, what's that?
Whoever did this job was extremely familiar with your operations.
Are you suggesting it was an inside job?
Yeah, it almost had to be. Just look at what was taken.
Yes, the analscope plans. The most valuable thing in the vault.
Excuse me, sir, but what is this analscope?
It's a device for detecting mineral deposits hundreds of feet underground.
It's 10 times more efficient than any other instrument or method we have.
Those plans in the hands of someone who knows their value are worth at least 1 million space credits.
Wow.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, Maris here. Oh, very well. Commander, I'm wanted in my office. Would you excuse me, please?
Surely, Mr. Maris. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Oh, Commander, if it was an inside job, why did the thief have to use an atomo torch on the vault? He got into the building without setting off the alarm.
The alarm didn't go off until the thief was safely away. If I didn't know Maris so well, I'd suspect him of being involved in the robbery.
Well, how about his chief engineer, Cheller?
They both agreed to a brainograph test. I think they'll pass it. They've worked with Robbie and me on top-secret projects a number of times. Maris and Cheller are exceptionally honest.
Well, the security department men have gone over everything and haven't found a single clue. What's the next step?
The brainograph.
Excuse me, sir, but have a look at this.
What?
On the floor of the vault here, it looks like broken glass.
It is. Somebody dropped his glasses. Gather it up carefully, Happy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, there's hardly anything left but slivers.
Don't cut yourself, but get all of it.
Hey, Maris doesn't wear glasses.
Neither does Cheller. Happy, don't mention this to anyone. We'll have a check made on Maris employees to see who does wear glasses. I hope there are enough large pieces there to tell what the optical formula is.
I've got it, sir. The pieces are in this piece of paper.
All right, Hap. We'll send it over to the lab.
Goodbye, Stokes. And so long, Maris, and thanks. Don't make that any time. Now, Commander, you mentioned a brainograph test whenever you're ready.
Fine, Mr. Maris. By the way, the man who just left, he looks familiar.
Oh, that was Ward Stokes. He's a precision machinist. Does special assignments for me from time to time.
Oh, sure. I remember him now. About a year ago, Major Robertson had him work on a special view scope for the security lab.
Oh, that's so? I had him in mind for the analscope job.
Did you discuss it with him?
Oh, no. No, I wouldn't do that until I'd checked with security. That's our standard policy on really important jobs. Stokes just dropped in, pick up an instrument case he left in my office.
I see.
Your man, Captain Scoville, talked to him.
Captain Scoville and his men will remain on duty here for a day or two, Mr. Maris, checking the alarm system.
Yes, Commander, I understand.
They won't interfere with your regular operations any more than they have to. Now, if you'll get Cheller, Happy and I will take you to headquarters for the brainograph test.
Oh, Stokes, you got the case all right.
Yes, walked right into Maris' office. One of Corey's men gave me the once-over, but didn't even stop me.
Has the case been tampered with?
Oh, it was on the floor exactly where I left it yesterday. After all, it looks just like what it's supposed to be, an instrument case.
Yes. Not even Buzz Corey would suspect this small box of being an electronic burglar.
And now that we've got it back here, no one will ever suspect. Oh, I see you found your spare glasses.
You know, I've worn glasses for 30 years, and I never broke a pair till last night.
And you never cracked a safe till last night either. Oh, did you?
Well, if I did, I wouldn't have been so awkward when I removed the protective goggles.
No. Well, it was a small price to pay for what we've got.
Yes. That reminds me, you better put that robot burglar away and help me copy the endoscope design.
Where do you want me to put the burglar?
In the staging room for now.
All right. This stage set's a great piece of work, even if I do say so myself. Startling duplicate of Mer's private office.
Well, it would have to be, wouldn't it? Otherwise, we couldn't have trained our mechanical helper to find the alarm switch in the real office.
You know, I've made dozens of machines operated by electric eyes, but until you came along, it never occurred to me to,
Yes, to make a machine that works for you instead of somebody else.
Yes, Bartram, I guess that's it. The toughest part of the whole job was getting a hold of Maris' burglar alarm key long enough to make a duplicate.
Maris doesn't suspect us. Corey doesn't suspect us. I'd say we pulled it off without a hitch. But now, we better get ready to blast off from Mars.
Happy, I suppose you heard the results of the brainograph test.
Yes, sir. Maris and Scheller didn't have anything to do with the robbery.
Not only that, but they haven't the remotest idea who might have done it.
That's great, except that it doesn't help us much. Oh, how about the fragments of glasses?
Well, the lab couldn't tell a thing. The boys did their best, but the pieces aren't big enough to indicate the optical formula.
Oh, well. Maybe it wasn't a thief that dropped it there anyway.
Maybe not. Maris says that he and Cheller are the only ones that go into the vault. We would get this clue just when our chief optical expert is in the hospital.
Dr. Pricer?
Yes. I contacted Pricer and showed him the fragments on the telescreen. He thinks he could determine the lens formula after he's out of the hospital.
When will that be?
In 10 days. You know, I think I'll take his suggestion. Pricer says this man Stokes might be able to help us.
Stokes? Oh, the fellow Maris was talking about?
Yes. Stokes helped Pricer on some high-precision optical work a while back. Pricer thinks he's great.
He could well be, with both Maris and Pricer raving about him.
Now, let's pay him a visit, Happy, and see if he can put our glass jigsaw puzzle together. Mr. Stokes, I imagine you're a pretty busy man, but at the moment, you're the only one who can help us.
I'm rather rushed, Commander, but if it's for the Space Patrol, I'll be glad to if I can.
I have some fragments of what apparently was once a pair of glasses. Can you determine the optical formula from these small pieces?
Why, it would be rather difficult. May I ask why you want this information?
By tracing the prescription, we might be able to check with various opticians and find a thief.
A thief?
Yes. Confidentially, I'll tell you that these fragments were found in Maris's vault after the burglary. You know about that, of course.
Yes, perfectly outrageous. And this is the only clue you have?
So far.
Oh. Well, I'm afraid I couldn't give you a very accurate analysis, Commander.
I see. Well, perhaps Dr. Pricer can do it when he gets out of the hospital.
However, let me examine these fragments more closely. Will you let me take them into my lab in the next room?
Of course.
It won't take me long to find out if further tests will be worthwhile.
He didn't seem very interested at first, Commander.
It's a challenge to his ingenuity. He'll probably help us.
All these pictures of gadgets on the walls. Are these Stokes' inventions?
I suppose so.
Hey, come and look at this one, sir. The picture here by the door.
All right.
It's a miniature view scope, no bigger than your hand.
An amazing piece of construction.
Well, I'd like to see the actual thing. Hey, I wonder what's in this room here.
Happy.
Oh, well, I wasn't snooping, sir. I just thought... Hey, look at this.
What is it?
For a minute, I thought I'd been here before. But this is an exact duplicate of Maris's private office.
It does look like it. Same furniture arrangement, same size, same fixtures.
Yeah, maybe the same person designed the offices, and Maris's is just like Stokes.
No, I don't think so, Happy.
What do you mean, sir?
These walls don't reach the ceiling. This is a room built inside a larger room, like a stage set.
You're right. It seems kind of silly.
It certainly does. And then...
Hey, what's that, Commander?
Machinery of some kind, but I don't see... Oh, it's that instrument case. The lid's opening.
Look at it, Commander. Now the whole case is moving, rolling across the floor.
I wonder what could have started that thing up.
Now look, it's running a long rod up in the air.
Yeah, very ingenious. A telescoping rod in sections with a key on the end of it.
sure like to have one of those things. Here. Hey, looks like it's on its way to unlock something.
Mm-hmm. To unlock a mystery. Watch it closely, Happy.
What am I going to tell him, Boucher? Well, tell him you can probably figure out the optical prescription. Then, in a day or two, give him a fake formula. Good. Then Corey will never be able to trace you. Go tell him and get him out of here. Yes. Commander, I've got good news for you. Commander, where are you?
In here, Stokes.
Oh.
Happy and I are watching this fantastic gadget of yours.
How does that thing get started? Here, I'll shut it off.
No, wait. Let's see what it does.
It's just a silly toy. I'll turn it off.
Later, Stokes.
But Commander.
Hey, it acts like it's looking for something. Now it's heading right for that little doojier on the wall there.
The lock switch.
It's feeling for the keyhole.
A very clever machine, Stokes. So that's how the alarm system was shut off.
What do you mean?
You can't deny this room is an exact replica of Maris's office.
Suppose it is. Lots of offices are alike.
I see. Then, of course, you won't mind taking a brainograph test.
That'll be enough snooping, Corey. Get your hands up. You too, cadet. Get their weapons, Stokes. Yes, Boucher. Keep behind them in case I have to use this ray gun.
So you're Stokes' partner in the burglary. Boucher, huh?
Hold them, Stokes. Confounded men, you should have locked the door.
How did I know they'd be coming here?
And that robot. How did it get started?
The timing mechanism. I forgot to shut it off.
So just 12 hours after the robbery, it started up again.
Yes. In another 3 hours, the robot would turn the lock switch back on, move back to its original position, withdraw its wheels and levers, and become an innocent instrument case again.
Too bad Stokes has such a good reputation as a precision machinist, or we'd never have come here.
It is too bad, Corey. But I'm afraid it's too bad for you.
What are we going to do with them?
We can't dispose of them here on Terra. We'll take them to my lab on the Martian desert, where they'll never be found.
We'll be back with Space Patrol in just a moment. Say, gang, listen to this boy going to the breakfast table. He doesn't care if he ever gets there, does he? He doesn't like his breakfast cereal, that's why. No zip, no lift, no flavor. Now, here's a girl. Listen to how she goes to breakfast. She doesn't even bother about going. Same trouble. A cereal dull as can be. No taste, no tang, no nothing. Now, here's another youngster going to breakfast. No wonder he's in a hurry. He's really going for breakfast, because this fella does what Buzz Corey does. He has a checkerboard super cereal for breakfast every single morning. Rice Chex or Wheat Chex. The cereals with that modern bite-sized design for easy eating. And boy, it's not just the size that makes Chex easy to eat. It's that flavor. Man, oh man, Chex have a flavor that keeps that spoon of yours going up and down, up and down, up and down until the cereal bowl's empty. So get the cereals that have you sprinting to the table for them. The super cereals that help to supercharge you. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. Buzz and Happy have been captured by two criminals who stole designs for a valuable new mineral detection device from the Maris Design and Development Company vault. The thieves, Stoke and Boucher, have locked a space patrolman in a compartment on a spaceship and are heading for a hideout on the Martian desert.
Certainly aren't taking any chances, sir. My wrists are tied so tight, my fingers are numb.
If we can work loose before the ship lands, we might be able to fight our way out of this mess, Happy. Keep at it.
Yes, sir.
Now, they cut the rockets. Feel that increased gravity pull?
Yes, sir.
If they're carrying out their original plans, it means we're landing on Mars. We've got to work fast before they can land.
Unlock the compartment, Stokes. I'll keep them covered.
All right. Now, you two on your feet.
Let's check these ropes. Turn around. I said turn around! And I say something, I mean it, Corey.
I'll remember that, Boucher.
With the little time you got left, I suggest you dwell on more pleasant memories. Okay, the ropes are still tight. Get moving, you two. This is our little Martian hideout.
Sure is a filthy little hideout.
Well, maybe we'll let you clean it up before we do away with you.
Let's get some heat on. I'm freezing.
Stokes, you're going right back to the ship and blast off for Lowell City.
You still think I should make contact with Thorpe?
Yes. I'll stay here and guard Corey and the cadet until everything is set. Leave the designs here.
I'll put them in the cupboard.
All right. If you find everything safe in Lowell City, then make arrangements for getting the money from Thorpe, and we'll hand over the design.
When do we get rid of Corey and the cadet?
Just as soon as you get back. Nobody will ever find them out here in the desert. You better get going.
Oh, I wanted to ask you a couple of things. Come out to the ship with me.
Well, all right. I don't imagine you'll want to leave, Corey. But we'll lock the door just in case. Well, sir, we've got until Stokes gets back to get out of here.
Even if we overpower Boucher, we'll need Stokes' ship to escape. Do you see a space phone in here?
No, sir. But maybe there's one hidden around someplace.
Happy, there's a heating control. Kick the switch with your foot.
You cold, sir?
No, but put it on full, quickly.
Yes, sir. There it is, sir.
Good. Now, if this room will just heat up in a hurry.
Well, there goes Stokes.
Now, when Boucher comes into this heated room, I have a hunch he'll have some trouble with his glasses.
Huh?
Coming in from the cold air, they'll fog up just like the windows.
Hey, yeah, then we can rush him.
The best we can hope to do is knock him down with a headlong dive until we can get our hands free. Here he comes. Get ready.
Yes, sir. All right, gentlemen. Now we'll just relax. Oh, you got the heat on. I told you space patrolmen were hardy souls accustomed to cool. Confound it. My glasses are...
Okay, Happy?
Get off of me.
He dropped his gun, Commander. Take it out of the way.
That's it. Can you handle Boucher with your hands tight, sir?
I won't have to. They're loose, Happy. All right, Boucher.
Let go of me.
And stop struggling. On your feet. I'll take the gun, Happy. Boucher, untie the cadet.
Wait till I get my breath. You knocked all the wind out of me. It's all right, sir. The ropes are working loose.
Good. Boucher, is there a spacephone in this building?
No, there was a portable set on the ship, but I forgot to bring it in.
We'll just have to wait till Stokes returns. You'll get a nice surprise when he walks in that door.
Should we tie Boucher up, sir?
That might be a good idea. We won't have to watch him so closely. Boucher, get away from that cupboard.
I'll get him, Commander. They're not there. They're gone.
What are you talking about?
The anoscope design. Stoke never put them in a cupboard. I saw him walk over there. He double-crossed me. The dirty rat. What good would they do you if they were there? Don't you see? Stoke isn't coming back, and we're stuck here.
He's right, Happy. This puts all of us in a tough spot. Boucher, how far did you say it was to the nearest city?
100 miles. 100 miles of desert.
We don't have any way to call for help.
We'll die out here. We only got food for 2 days.
Maybe. But we're not going to stay here. Let's take what food and water we can and start across the desert.
On foot? We could never make it.
We're going to try it. Now, where's the food locker? Come on, Boucher. You're lagging behind.
Don't make me walk anymore, please.
You've got yourself into this mess. We're going to keep moving.
All right. I'll try to make it.
That's it. Now stop blubbering and save your breath.
Hey, these green plants are all around us.
They're lichens, Happy. In the Martian summer, they turn rust-colored.
Stop. Wait. Now what? I feel sick. Something's wrong with my throat. Well, I don't feel so good myself, but we've got to keep moving.
Hold on a minute. There's something strange in the air.
It's dust coming up from the ground, sir. Every time we step, a little puff of dust spurts up.
From the lichens, Happy. They're spores.
Spores?
Yes, tiny cells from these plants. This kind is poison.
What?
It's getting into our throats, lungs.
Let's get out of them, quick. But we've got to keep on going.
The plants stretch for miles in all directions except behind us.
Well, then let's go back. We can't go back. Commander, these spores, what do they do?
If we keep inhaling them, they'll paralyze our breathing muscles. We'll suffocate.
I'm going back.
Boucher, come back here. Grab him, Happy.
Boucher, keep your head. All this stomping around's making it worse.
Stand still, Boucher. Be quiet. Look around, examine the terrain. Maybe we can find a bare stretch of ground.
It's hopeless. We're trapped. Trapped on the desert.
I said be quiet. See anything, Happy?
No, sir. Except that low hill there. Seems to be a tower of some kind.
Yes, a power relay tower. There's one every 20 miles.
Maybe there's a spacephone at the tower. If we can get there, we could call for help.
That's worth a try. Come on, let's go.
Come on, Boucher. Just a few yards more. I can hardly breathe.
I don't see anything that looks like a spaceophone, Happy.
Neither do I, sir. Just some wheels and gears.
Those are to adjust the receiving and deflecting coils at the top of the tower.
You mean we can't call for help?
After coming all this way?
I'm afraid not.
Then what good is this monstrosity? We'll all die here under the tower.
Look, Boucher, lie down and rest a minute and keep quiet.
Sir, by looking at the coils, can't we tell the direction to take to Lowell City?
Yes, but it's straight across those poison lichens. Now, wait a minute. If we were to turn those wheels, it would interrupt the power beam. The beam would miss the next relay tower.
Hey, yeah, they'd have to send somebody out to investigate.
Well, then do it. Turn the wheels. Cut out the power.
Boucher, do you realize that human lives may depend on that power beam?
Well, what about our lives? Our lives depend on it, too. Turn it off.
So what we might do, Happy,
Turn it off.
might deflect it slightly, just enough to register on the instruments at the monitor station.
Well, how could we be sure we weren't turning it too far?
See that dial? It points to 0. That means it's right on the beam. The red lines on either side are the danger limits. Here, let's release the holding mechanism. Now we'll turn the wheel carefully.
The indicator's still on 0, sir.
The control mechanism has a high gear ratio for accurate focusing of the beam.
Now it's moving, sir. Halfway to the danger line.
That ought to alert the maintenance crew. Now we'll spin the wheel the other way, back and forth.
Want me to take over again, sir? You must be tired.
All right, Happy. Thanks.
You've been doing that for half an hour and nothing happened. Turn the beam off. Clear off. That's the only way to make them pay attention. It'll be dark in a little while. Nobody will be able to see us.
Commander, look. It's an atmosphere ship.
And it's headed right for the tower.
Well, wave to them. Make sure he sees us.
He'll see us, don't worry. It's a power commission ship, all right, sir. See the big red circle on the hull?
All right, Happy. He's coming in for a landing. Set the indicator back to 0.
There it is, sir. I'll lock it in place. Control secured, sir.
All right, let's get to the ship. We've got an appointment with Stokes in Lowell City.
I told you and the commander how you can pick up Stokes and the man who's going to buy the design. They will go on my record one day.
Well, sure, but I'm afraid it's a little late now to start thinking about getting off easily.
Happy, I just talked to Lowell City Space Control and the pilot's spacephone. They're putting a guard around Stokes' ship in case he tries to blast off.
Fine. When do we get to Lowell City?
In a couple of minutes. We'll turn Boucher over to the spaceport guards and go after Stokes and Son. Well, Stokes, the design seemed to be complete.
That all there, Mr. Tharp? Now I'd like my money.
Of course. I'm glad you and Boucher changed your minds and made a straightforward business deal.
The original plan was just a precaution in case we were being followed. But everything worked out so well.
All right, Stokes. I'll take those plans. Corey. Get Tharp, Happy. I'll handle Stokes.
Yes, sir. Where do you think you're going?
All right, Stokes. Had enough?
Oh, yes, Corey. Let up.
I've got Tharp, Commander.
Keep them covered. I'll get the anoscope design.
Yes, sir. All right, Stokes. Move over next to your partner.
Just tell me one thing. How did you get out of the desert?
Well, Commander, why don't we let Boucher explain that to him? It'll give them something to talk about for the next several years they're going to be spending together.
We'll be back with an action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol story in just a moment. Say, you want to hear something funny? Well, listen to this. That's a word scrambler, gang. A machine that scrambles secret messages sent by space patrollers over the spaceophone. Now, do you want to know what the message said? Well, here, I'll have it unscrambled for you. To get supercharged, eat a good breakfast with Instant Ralston. That's one of the most important messages a space patroller ever sent. Yes, sir, when you sit down to a good breakfast with good hot Ralston, well, boy, oh boy, that's your day to shine. For Instant Ralston packs a wallop in every spoonful. It's rich whole wheat. Remember, rich whole wheat. That means it'll warm up your motor, tune up your thinker, help start off your day with a bang. Yes, that's the kind of start Buzz Corey gets. That's the kind of start you need to be a winner just like him. So come on, Space Patrollers, get supercharged. Eat a good breakfast with good hot Ralston. And now for a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol story. Buzz and Happy are on Venus on a farm where food is chemically grown in large tanks. As they walk toward a building where Tonga is held captive, huge sun mirrors atop several tall towers turn ominously toward them.
Smoking rockets, Commander. It's really getting hot all of a sudden.
Yes, waves of heat. Even for Venus, this is unusual.
Oh, my eyes. What a glare.
Happy, don't look at those reflectors. They'll blind you.
Let's run for the building and get out of this sun.
Hap, look out. They're focusing those sun mirrors on us.
A whole battery of them are pointed right toward us.
Maybe we can dodge them. Run back this way.
Commander, they've got us surrounded by those heat beams, and they're closing in.
They hit us with all those at once. We're finished for good.
Be sure to be with us next Saturday for the exciting story, The Space Shark, when wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Ralston again bring you Space Patrol! And now here's a message from Commander Buzz Corey.
Here's a little riddle. What is it that is scarce, valuable, and necessary, yet given away free? The answer is blood, the gift of life. Yes, when grown-ups give blood at the Red Cross Center, they don't receive money, but they do receive the wonderful, deep-felt satisfaction of knowing they helped save a life. Now, how would you like to help me get more people to save lives? Join my Space Patrol Blood Boosters. It's lots of fun, so how about it? Join today.
Space Patrol, an original Mike Moser production, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston and directed by Larry Robertson. Other players were Bela Kovac, Ken Mayer, and Norman Jolly. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Ralston again present the new, exciting Space Patrol! And be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. Space Patrol comes to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.
HOJO Radio, where the classics come alive.
Wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Ralston present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed adventure, Buzz and Happy are on Venus on a farm where food is chemically grown in large tanks. As they walk toward a building where Tonga is held captive, huge sun mirrors atop several tall towers turn ominously toward them.
Smoking rockets, Commander. It's really getting hot all of a sudden.
Yes, waves of heat. Even for Venus, this is unusual.
Gee, my eyes. What a glare.
Don't look at those reflectors. They'll blind you.
Let's run for the building and get out of the sun.
Happy, look out. They're focusing those sun mirrors on us.
A whole battery of them are pointed right toward us.
Maybe we can dodge them. Run back this way.
Commander, they've got us surrounded by the heat beams, and they're closing in.
They hit us with all of them at once. We're finished.
We'll be back in just a moment with today's Space Patrol story, The Space Shark. It's the cereal of the future, the real space cereal. The cereal that's different from any other cereal in the universe. The cereal you see on Commander Corey's own breakfast table. Delicious Rice Chex. The cereal with a flavor like no other flavor in all the universe. Delicious Rice Chex. Swell-tasting shredded rice, spun in that modern bite-sized design for easy eating. A real space cereal. You see, there's space inside those biscuits so they can fill up with milk or cream. Try it today, gang. The only bite-sized rice cereal in the universe. Rice Chex, the one and only official checkerboard rice cereal. Rice Chex, one of the super cereals that helped us supercharge you. Rice Chex at your grocer's in the red and white checkerboard package. Get it today. Crisp and delicious, new and different, golden bite-sized Rice Chex. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy have just blasted off from the planet Saturn, where they've been investigating mysterious contamination of chemically grown food shipped from Venus. In the meantime, Tonga, the assistant security chief, is also doing some undercover investigation work on Venus, working as a chemist on one of the farms. Now, through the nose port of Terra 5, Buzz and Happy watch Saturn's shining rings looming up large before them.
Raise our vector about 5 degrees, Happy. Want to clear the rings with plenty of space to spare.
Yes, sir. You know, it's too bad anything so beautiful is such a menace to spaceflight.
But by the time you're close enough for them to be a menace, the rings are no longer beautiful.
No, because you can see the individual hunks of rock making up the rings. And yet from a distance, they look as though you could ride a circus car around them like on a smooth racetrack.
Only in this case, it's the racetrack that does the moving. Well, it's 1100 hours Universal Star Time, Happy. We ought to be hearing from Tonga pretty soon.
I hope she found out more about how that food is getting contaminated than we did.
Those samples we examined on Saturn turned bad after they arrived from Venus.
So maybe the chemical farm they came from is still pure, huh?
Not necessarily. Perhaps a chemical with a delayed action was put into the hydroponic tanks.
Tonga calling Commander Corey. Tonga calling Commander Corey.
Corey here. Go ahead, Tonga.
Commander, how soon can you come to Venus?
We just blasted off from Saturn. It'll take at least 3.5 hours. Something wrong?
Why, no, to the contrary. I found out how those harmful chemicals are getting into the hydroponic tanks.
Good.
A group of racketeers are trying to force the farm operators to pay for protection. They've bribed workers to put the contaminating chemicals into the tanks.
Then, for the owners who pay the price, the tanks stay pure. Who's behind this gang?
I don't know yet, Commander, but I think I will by the time you reach Venus.
Where are you now?
In the women's dormitory at the farm. I'm just about ready to report for work at the lab.
If you leave your miniature spaceophone in your room, be sure you hide it carefully.
I keep it with me, Commander. It's safer.
You want us to come directly to the farm when we reach Venus?
I'll let you know later, Commander. By the way, I'm working here as Miss Bird.
All right, Tonga. Be careful. Corey out.
Gee, Commander, Tonga seems to have found out more in a week than all the other agents have in a month.
She's a good security department operator, Happy. No, we'll clear the rings. Change vector for Venus.
Yes.
Ready for the spectroscope check on specimen 28, Mr. Baxter?
All right, Miss Burns.
Negative. Well, this whole group of samples tests pure. I hope we have as good luck on the next group.
Oh, never mind that now, Miss Burns. I'll handle it.
Oh, but I thought you wanted all these samples analyzed before the morning shift ends.
There isn't much more to do. I'd like to have you take this report over to the superintendent's office.
Why, yes, Mr. Baxter.
Come in, Eggle. Where is she? I sent her on an errand. All right, that Space Patrol spy. I wonder how much she knows. Not very much. I've kept close watch on her ever since we found that she's a Space Patrol agent.
But that was 3 days ago. She's been here a week. I'd like to know where she kept that spaceophone.
I've had her room searched at the women's dormitory. She's got it hidden, all right.
Perhaps it's under the floor. Baxter, you should have put that concealed microphone in her room in the first day she was here.
Look, I can't handle everything.
Oh, we got to get rid of her without exciting suspicion.
How can we do that? The Space Patrol will investigate.
Supposing there was an accident. Supposing she mixed the wrong chemicals and there was an explosion.
Oh, she's too careful. Too smart. I've got it. This will do fine.
What is that?
A harmless chemical used by Miss Burns almost constantly. But this bottle... Someone might easily confuse the names of the two chemicals. They're very much alike.
What does this chemical do?
A few drops mixed with any acid solution will produce a deadly gas. A gas that soon dissipates. After a few seconds, when it's mixed with air, it's harmless. But if someone were leaning over a container of it when it first formed...
Baxter, I can't pronounce the name of the substance, but it's the solution to our problem. Fix it up. I better get out of here before she gets back.
The superintendent said he'd check the report later, Mr. Baxter.
Typical. He hollers his head off or something, then lets it sit on his desk for 3 days. Miss Burns, would you take over here?
Of course.
I've got to rush over to tank number 5. I'll be back as soon as possible.
Right, Mr. Baxter. Now, let's see. Anatheric acid, 20 cc's. Oh, now where's it? Oh, here it is. Oh.
It worked, Eagle. Has the gas dissipated? Do you think I'd be walking around like this if it hadn't? As I told you, it only takes a few seconds for the...
Baxter, she's alive. Huh? Look at her. She's moving, tugging at her throat.
She must have jerked her head back before it got into her lungs. Now what do we do?
This makes it awkward. Let me think a minute.
Well, at this acceleration, we'll reach Venus in half an hour, sir.
Want me to take over?
No, thanks, sir. I'd just as soon bring her in if I may.
Well, fine with me. Happy, listen, I heard something on the miniature spaceophone.
So did I.
I got her, Baxter. We'll load our Miss Burns into the surface car and take her to my hyperdramic farm. So somebody sees us. Tell them there was a slight accident. We can say I'm a doctor. Take her to a hospital.
But, Commander, they've done something to Tonga.
Quiet, Happy.
Take her to your farm. When she comes to, we can make her tell how much she knows. We certainly can't work on her here. That's right, Eagle. I'll stay here and watch Miss Burns. We got to get a surface car. Go on, get moving.
Tonga managed to click on her spaceophone, so she's probably not too badly hurt.
I wish they'd keep talking so we could find out who they are and where they're going to take her.
Baxter and Eagle. Eagle has a chemical food farm. Happy, you keep listening to your miniature set. I'll contact Venus Space Control and have them check on the location of a hydroponic farm owned by a man named Eagle. Our passenger seems to be very quiet back there.
Well, apparently that gas just missed being totally effective. Here, pull up in front of this building.
What's this place?
A couple of storage rooms and a solar mirror control.
Quite a layout you have.
Yeah, very successful farm, Baxter. And you know, I haven't had a bit of trouble with contaminated food.
I wonder why. I wonder why.
Oh, come to think of it, maybe I'd better have some trouble, in case the Space Patrol starts wondering why. Well, come on, let's get her out of the car.
She's still unconscious. We'll have to carry her.
Yeah, all right, let's go.
Spaceship. It's landing.
Quick, get her inside.
It's a Space Patrol ship. Why do you suppose it's coming here?
It's the commander ship. I've seen it a dozen of times on Terra. He must know the whole deal.
How could he?
The girl tipped him off. Probably has been waiting for days for some open move on our part.
What do we do with her? Where's one of those storage rooms?
Oh, wait. There isn't time for that now. Bring her in here. We got to stop Corey.
Stop him? How?
Set her down here.
Look, why don't we lock her up out of sight? Maybe we can bluff Corey out of it. He can't know anything.
Well, he's obviously been to the other farm and knows the girl was taken away in a surface car.
Oh, nobody asked us any questions?
No, but several people saw us.
Why don't we get in the car again and get away from here?
And be followed by Corey's spaceship?
I'm not anxious to tangle with Corey.
We won't have to. Come here. I'll show you something that will take care of Corey.
Commander, I'm not sure, but I thought I saw two men carrying Tonga into that building down there when we were landing the ship. That means she's still unconscious.
Yes, we've got to be careful, Happy.
It's lucky she managed to turn on her miniature spaceophone. And even when Eagle and Baxter weren't talking, it picked up the sound of the surface car motor and led us right here.
This farm is more than just a front. Looks like a well-run operation.
Well, then why does Milton Eagle get mixed up in a gang of racketeers?
Very likely he's one of the higher-ups, if not the kingpin. This protection racket is his way of controlling competition.
What are those big shiny pieces of metal on top of the towers?
Those are solar mirrors, Happy. They can be focused on the food tanks to raise the temperature.
Some of them seem to be moving now.
They have to keep pace with the sun. Also, if the mirrors were kept focused on one tank too long, it would scorch the plants, probably boil the water.
Oh, I see.
I'm not so sure our rival hasn't aroused interest, Happy, so be on your guard.
Get the idea now, Baxter? I'm surrounding Corey and the cadet with circles of concentrated sunlight.
What do you expect to do? Blind them with the glare?
Yeah, wait till I converge all those beams in one spot. Right on Corey and his friend.
Eagle, wait, do you realize the heat those mirrors put out?
Yeah, quite well, Baxter. And I think this will serve to stop the Space Patrol permanently. Now watch. I'm going to bring the focal points together.
Gee, Commander, sure is getting hot all of a sudden.
Yes, waves of heat. Even for Venus, this is unusual.
Smoking rockets, my eyes. What a glare.
Don't look at those reflectors. They'll blind you.
Let's run for the building and get out of the sun.
Happy, they're focusing those sun mirrors on us.
The whole battery of them.
Maybe we can dodge them. Run back this way.
Hey, Commander, we're surrounded by heat beams, and they're closing in.
If they hit us with all those at once, we're finished.
We'll be back with Space Patrol in just a moment. Right now, here's the story of a cosmic surface car in trouble. Listen. The trouble? Nothing to go on but ordinary fuel. You hear that? The driver's filling up the tank with super fuel. Now, something's going to happen now. Boy, that cosmic surface car is really roaring now. That's because it's supercharged with super fuel. And the same is true with you, gang. What happens when you don't have a good breakfast? You're just a putt-putt. But when you fill up your tank with super fuel, man, you're supercharged. Now, here's how Buzz Corey does it. He eats a good breakfast with a checkerboard super cereal, Rice Chex or Wheat Chex. Wait till you taste them, gang. Boy, are they good. Flavor galore in every crisp, bite-sized biscuit. So get going, gang. Eat a good super cereal breakfast and get supercharged. Get the super cereals today. Rice Chex, Wheat Chex. Buzz and Happy are on the grounds of a chemically grown food plant on Venus in an attempt to rescue Tonga, abducted by two men who've been putting poisonous chemicals in the food tanks of competing operators. The two conspirators, Milton Eagle and Richard Baxter, have seen Buzz and Happy approach the building where they're holding Tonga. Eagle has focused several sun mirrors toward the two space patrolmen, surrounding them with heat beams. Inch by inch, the circles close in around Buzz and Happy as Eagle tightens the wall of searing heat.
Look at them, Baxter. Ha! They can't move in any direction.
Grass all around them is burning.
Yeah, and a few seconds ago it was fresh and green.
It must be stifling inside those beams. Look at them. Even from here, you can tell they're gasping for air.
Well, we might as well finish them off.
Oh, no, you don't.
Grab her, Baxter.
Let go of me.
Get your hands off of that panel. Pull her away, Baxter.
I'm trying to. Let go of me.
Found you. Come away.
Let go of me.
I've got her, Eagle. Now I'll finish off Corey and... she cut off the beam.
Get them on, quickly.
There isn't time. Corey and the cadet are headed toward us. Drag the girl out to the surface car. Quick.
Quit struggling, do you hear?
Take your hands off me.
We haven't got time to pamper you, Miss Burns. There. Now you can carry her. And hurry up, into the car.
They're getting into the surface car.
They've got Tonga. Hurry up.
Stop! Hey, come back here! It's no use, Hap.
Doggone it. A few more steps and we'd have made it.
Back to the ship. We'll blast off and trace them. They won't be able to get far.
It was close. Plenty close.
We aren't away yet. They'll look for us with their ship. Maybe put up a roadblock.
Confounded girl. Why don't we get rid of her for good? Throw her out of the car.
No, you fool. As long as she's with us, Corey won't get robbed.
Where are you taking me?
That's a good question. Where are we taking her?
We're going to blast off for Neptune.
Blasting up for Neptune? In this surface car?
You must really have knocked her silly, Eagle.
I got a spaceship in a private spaceport a couple of miles from here. With a little luck, we can blast off before Corey spots us.
With a little luck,
I think
we
I've
can
got
blast
him,
off
sir,
before
on the
Corey
miniature
spots
set.
us. Can't you get any
That's
more
them,
speed
all right.
out of this surface car? You just leave the driving to me. Watch the girl.
Where on Neptune are you taking me?
To a place where the space patrol will never find you.
I suppose you've got a hideout in the mountains somewhere.
No, not quite. There's a small settlement along the Krolog River, just about 60 views east of Neptune City, where we won't be found.
A big city be better. People wouldn't ask so many questions.
I know what I'm doing.
Well, we know where they're going to take her.
Hope we can rescue Tonga before they get her aboard the spaceship.
Hey, Commander, there's a surface car down there on the highway. Do you suppose that's the one?
Very likely. Let's cut down our speed.
The spaceport isn't much further, Baxter.
What kind of spaceship do you have?
Man, such an inquisitive woman. But I'll tell you, I'm rather proud of it. It's a Class B space cruiser, one of the largest private ships made.
A Class B space cruiser. How nice. It must be Venus Registry, then.
Yes, Venus Registry. Anything else you want to know?
Eagle, we're being followed.
By a surface car. None showing on a highway radar.
No, a spaceship. It's pretty high up, but it's hovering.
There's some binoculars in the compartment. See if you can make out what ship it is.
All right.
I don't like the looks of it. Why would a spaceship be traveling so slowly over this part of Venus?
It's changing direction now. I can get these glasses, folks. It's a space patrol ship, Terra 5.
Corey again.
Maybe he didn't see us after all.
There were other surface cars on a highway near my farm. Wonder how he happened to follow this one.
That's strange. Miss Burns, why do you keep playing with that locket?
Why, I didn't know I was.
Give me that.
How dare you?
Oh, rather large for a locket, isn't it? Snap it open. Now, isn't this interesting?
What is it, Baxter?
Miniature spaceophone. So that's how Corey's been able to find us. We really ought to fix this girl now.
Shut up, you fool. Turn the spaceophone off.
Just a minute, Eagle. I know where you are and what you're up to. If either you or Baxter harm Tonga, both of you will regret it the rest of your lives.
So your real name is Tonga, the assistant security chief.
That's right.
Corey, I got a proposition to make to you.
What is it?
If we turn Tonga loose, will you let us alone?
You know I couldn't make a bargain like that.
Well, I'm willing to take a gamble, Corey. I know you'll keep after us, but I'll trade Tonga for a few minutes' time. There's a small check a few hundred yards down the highway. I'll leave Tonga there. How about it, Corey? It's your best chance to get her back safely.
All right, Eagle. I'll get you anyway, but I warn you, don't try to double-cross me.
Cut the spaceophone off, Baxter.
It's off.
Here's the shack. We got to work fast. Corey's landing right where I figured he would. Stay behind the trees until he's out of the ship.
Why don't we get in the car and get to your ship? Why waste time?
While Corey is in the shack rescuing Tonga, we'll put his weapons out of commission.
Why not wreck the controls so he can't blast off?
Yeah, and have him alert other space patrol units? Our best bet is to have Corey after us himself.
Tell me your ship is faster than Terra 5.
No, but his ship isn't faster than the Shark.
The Shark?
Yeah, it's a cosmic missile with a special view scope device. I have one aboard my ship. And once it's launched at Corey's ship, he can dodge it or outrun it.
Yes, and with his own cosmic weapons out of commission, he can't fire at the Shark.
That's right. He can run all over the solar system. But sooner or later, the Shark will get him. Come on, get ready. Corey and the cadet are getting out of the ship.
Here's the shack, sir. I sure hope they kept their word and left Tonga here.
Eagle and Baxter are putting a lot of faith in a few minutes head start, but it won't do them much good. Try the door, Hap.
Thanks.
Commander, Happy.
Are you all right, Tonga?
Yes, Commander.
Oh, they've got her tied, hand and foot.
Have to give them more time. They probably would have locked the door if they could. Here, I'll cut those ropes, Tonga.
Thank you, Commander. I tried to find out exactly where Eagle's spaceship was. All I know is that it's not too far from here.
Happy and I looked for it from the air, but it must have been hidden.
Hey, the ship blasting off.
Probably Eagle's. Let's see. By the time we walk through the woods back to our ship, well, they'll have about 5 minutes start on us.
5 minutes? Well, that isn't going to do them much good.
They picked us up, Eagle. Good. Now let's give Corey a run for his money.
When are you going to launch the guided missiles at them?
Well, we'll wait till they get closer. First, we leave Corey out of the regular lanes. I don't want him to call for help when we launch the Shark.
We aren't gaining very fast, sir.
They must realize they can't escape. Turn on the space phone, Happy. I'll order them to surrender. Commander Corey aboard Terra 5 to Milton Eagle aboard private cruiser 398. Come in.
Eagle to Commander Corey. Is something wrong, Commander?
Eagle, the smartest thing you can do is surrender. Head for Saturn. It's the closest planet.
Sorry. We have other plans.
I order you to surrender. We're armed, you know.
Oh, of course.
Happy, stand by to fire a warning rocket.
Yes, sir.
Eagle, I don't want to use force unless it's necessary, but I'm prepared to do it.
Commander, something's wrong with the firing mechanism.
What?
The electronic controls are out of order.
What about number 2?
Well, they're all out of order, sir.
That's right, Commander. Baxter and I took care of that while you were rescuing Tonga.
We can still overtake you, Eagle. Meanwhile, we can call units from Saturn.
You're going to be pretty busy, Commander. Baxter and I are sending you a present. Catch.
Eagle, if you fire on a space patrol ship, you'll be blasted out of space.
Commander, look at the view scope. Something's leaving their ship.
It's not a regular missile, sir. It's too slow.
It may seem slow now, Cadet, but wait.
Eagle, what did you just release?
A weapon with your picture on it, Commander.
It's gaining velocity, sir.
It's a guided type missile with a cosmic warhead. Have fun. Eagle out.
Happy. Change vector for Saturn.
For Saturn, sir?
Yes, and put on all the acceleration we can stand.
It's getting closer, Commander.
Head for Saturn's rings, Happy.
For the rings?
Yes, get on a tangent with the outer ring.
All right, sir, but... Well,
Commander.
Yes, sir.
The rings are made up of big chunks of rock. If we get too close...
That's the idea, Tonga. We'll get as close as possible. We're going to let those rocks run interference for us.
What an idea. Just like football at technology school. Blocking back, trailing you.
Tonga, bring the forward view scope up to full sensitivity. We'll pick out a nice big rock.
Yes, Commander.
That missile's awfully close, sir. At this rate, it'll hit us in a few seconds.
There's a giant hunk of rock dead ahead.
Good. I'll take the controls now, Happy. Going to see how close I can come to that rock. Tonga, watch the rear view scope.
The missile's awfully close.
Fine. We're going to jaywalk right in front of that rock.
Wow. Oh, boy, was that close. Smoking rockets, have you ever seen such fire?
Watch the rear view scope.
The rock. It blew up right behind us.
The guided missile hit it. Oh, that was luck.
Luck, nothing. That was the trickiest spaceship piloting in the universe, Commander. You hit a guided missile with an unguided missile.
Now, let's take care of some unfinished business. Eagle and Baxter.
How are we going to find them now?
I don't think it'll be difficult. They figure we're out of the way, so they might go back to their original plan.
The Crawlock River place?
We'll try it. Take over, Happy. We're clear of the ring.
Well, I lined up another ship for us, Baxter.
Good. When do we leave Chrolock?
In a few hours. One of my men is bringing a ship in from Neptune City.
It can't be too soon to suit me. I don't like this place.
Ah, what are you so jittery about? We don't have to worry about Corey anymore.
I know. I just don't like Neptune. I'm used to Venus. You get plenty of sunshine.
Get your hands up, Eagle. You too, Baxter.
Corey.
Get the weapons, Happy.
Yes, sir.
Corey, how did you... The guided missile, you couldn't have escaped the shark.
The shark, if that's what you call it, stubbed its nose on a rock just off Saturn. As a pet, it wasn't too trustworthy.
You were so sure you'd finish Corey, I told you not to come here. No, Baxter. No recrimination. We gambled and we lost. Take it easy, Baxter. Like me.
No, you don't, Eagle. All right. Now, Eagle. Are you ready to come along?
Yeah, sure. Okay, Corey. I'll come along.
Yeah, you know, you're not very agile, Eagle. You'd better stick to taking it easy, like Baxter.
An exciting preview of next week's thrilling Space Patrol story in just a moment. Hey, watch out. Hold everything. Here he comes down the rink so fast his ice skates are melting the ice. Wow, that's a checkerboard kid. He's supercharged. And a good breakfast with a checkerboard super cereal did it. A breakfast with swell-tasting instant Ralston. Here he comes again. Stand back. Jumpin' Jupiter, that boy's a winner. He's got the speed of Buzz Corey himself. And how about you, gang? How about getting supercharged so you can whiz along just like that? Just do this. Have a good breakfast with Instant Ralston, the hot super cereal. The delicious hot cereal that helps to turn on your starter. Makes you bright as a light and helps to keep you right on the beam. That's what it does for the Commander. That's what it'll do for you. Here comes the checkerboard kid again on those flying ice skates. Don't wait, gang. Be a winner yourself. Get supercharged. Eat a good breakfast with the delicious hot super cereal, Instant Ralston. And now for a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol story. Buzz and Happy and their spacesuits on a tiny asteroid are approaching a criminal who has stolen evidence that's needed to convict a crime syndicate.
He's got the metal box, sir, with the evidence.
All right, Chora. Come out of that crater and get into our ship.
I'm getting into my own ship, Corey, and you're not going to stop me.
All right, we'll come down and get you.
Take one more step and I'll use this gun on you. All right, have it your way. I warned you.
Drop, Happy.
Wow, that was close. The gun chipped a hunk of rock loose as big as your head.
Stand still, Happy. I think Chora means business.
Yeah, he does, and it isn't funny business either.
Be sure to be with us next Saturday for the exciting story, The Search for Asteroid X, when wheat checks, rice checks, and good hot Ralston again bring you Space Patrol! And now, an important message from Commander Buzz Corey.
Did you ever read in the paper about a boy or girl saving somebody's life? Ever wish you could do something like that? Well, you can. Just join my Space Patrol Blood Boosters. Here's what we do. We try to get more people to donate blood to the Red Cross. When you get somebody to donate blood, you save a life. So, boys and girls, join my Space Patrol Blood Boosters today.
Space Patrol, an original Mike Moser production starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston and directed by Larry Robertson. Other players were Bela Kovac, Ken Mayer, and Nina Berra. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, and Good Hot Ralston again present the new, exciting Space Patrol. And be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story on your local ABC television station. Consult your local paper for time and channel. Space Patrol comes to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.
Our next broadcast was an American media franchise created by Robert Arthur and David Kogan. The radio anthology series debuted in 1943 and ran until 1952. The concept was later adapted to magazine and comic book format. We present to you The Mysterious Traveler, right here on HOJO Radio.
Broadcasting System presents The Mysterious Traveler, written, produced, and directed by Robert A. Arthur and David Kogan, and starring two of radio's foremost personalities, Bryna Rayburn and Lyle Sudrow, in Stranger in the House.
This is The Mysterious Traveler, inviting you to join me on another journey into the realm of the strange and the terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, that it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back, get a good grip on your nerves, and be comfortable, if you can, as we follow the nerve-wracking adventures of a young couple in search of a home. It's the story I call Stranger in the House. The scene, the small village of Woodford in Vermont. It's 9 o'clock in the evening, and the main street of the village is deserted. A car comes speeding through the village, and with a squeal of its brakes comes to a stop before the home of Dr. Samuel Stewart. A young woman, obviously distraught, gets out from behind the wheel of the car and hurries up the walk to the doctor's home.
Oh, Dr. Stewart.
Yes, won't you come in?
Thank you. Doctor, you've got to help me. I can't stand it anymore.
Well, of course I'll help you. Here, let me have your coat. All right. Now, what appears to be wrong?
I don't know how to tell you about it. You'll think I'm insane, but I'm not.
I'm sure you're not. Now, why not start from the beginning and tell me what's troubling you?
Well, I suppose it all began the day my husband and I left this village to look at a house in the country that was for sale. Yes, I can recall how happy we were as we drove through the countryside. Oh, Roger. Darling, I do hope this will be the house we're searching for. Oh, look, we're coming to the old colonial graveyard the agent told us about. He said the house was a quarter of a mile beyond.
Yeah, that's right. At the end of this curve, there should be a small bridge over stream.
Small bridge over a stream?
Mm-hmm. Look, there it is. Now, the house should be just a little beyond.
Roger, I don't recall the agent having mentioned the bridge.
Why, he must have, darling. How else would I have known it was there? Now, look, there's the house.
Oh, Roger, isn't it beautiful? Oh, and what a view it commands.
All right, now, look, Jane, you mustn't get too excited about the place. It's probably all fallen to ruins inside.
Oh, nonsense, darling. You can see it's one of those early colonial houses built to endure for centuries. Oh, it's just what we've been dreaming.
Yes. This place certainly looks wild and desolate, doesn't it?
Well, naturally. The agent said it's been empty for years. Come on.
Uh-huh. I don't know what I do with that key now.
Roger, look at this old engraved plate set in the wall. I can barely make it out. Wickford Manor. Oh, that's a lovely name.
Yeah, here we are. Here's the key.
Wickford Manor. Oh, I know I'm going to love this place.
There you are. After you, Mrs. Barton.
Oh, it's so cold and clammy in here.
Yes, but look at that staircase, that beautiful staircase and those ceiling beams. Janie, honey, you were right. This place was built to endure. This house is in wonderful condition.
Yes, so it seems.
And it's just the size house we need, with 4 rooms upstairs.
4 rooms upstairs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how do you know, Roger, that the agent never mentioned how many rooms the house had?
He didn't. Well, there's only one way to find out, then. Let's go upstairs and look. Come on, Janie. Well, these stairs are as sound as the day they were built. This house would require very little in the way of repairs.
Yes, but it hasn't any electricity, Roger.
Oh, so what? We could use lamps till a line could be run to the house. There. Hey, see what I tell you? There are 4 rooms upstairs.
Yes, so there are. It's as though you'd been in this house before.
Well, as a matter of fact, I almost have a feeling I have been. Maybe that's the reason I like it. Hey, darling, what's the matter? You've been ever so quiet since we entered the house. Don't you care for it?
Oh, it's lovely, Roger, only...
Only what?
I don't know. It seems unfriendly.
Unfriendly? Who ever heard of a house being unfriendly? And you were crazy about the place when we drove up to it.
Yes, I know, but that was before we entered it.
Honey, it's even nicer inside than it is outside.
Yes, I suppose so.
And think of what a bargain it is at $5,000, Jane. Why, we've looked at houses that cost twice as much and weren't as nice.
It is a bargain.
But you still don't like it, do you? All right. Then we'll keep looking till we find a house we both like.
Oh, nonsense, darling. Well, we'll never find anything nicer. Now, that room with the southern exposure will be our bedroom, and that room...
Oh, Janie, you're wonderful. And we will be happy here, honey. I know we will.
In the weeks that followed, I was too busy with the repairs and furnishings of the house to give any thought to my misgivings. But they all returned in overwhelming force that first evening in our new home. I left Roger sitting in the study and made my way up the dark, winding staircase to our bedroom. After tossing for what seemed hours, I fell into a fitful sleep. I suddenly awakened to hear the clock in the hall striking the hour. It was 4 o'clock, and Roger's bed was empty. Quickly slipping on my robe, I left my room and started down the stairs to the study. As I reached the foot of the stairs, I stopped.
Who are you?
To my astonishment, I heard Roger's voice in the study. I slowly approached until I was at the door.
Clearer. It's so difficult. The mist obscures your face. Who are you? Well, why don't you say something?
Roger! Roger, unlock this door. It's Jane.
The mist that's coming between us. I can hardly see you. Oh, no, don't go. Come back. Please, come back.
Darling, please unlock this door. Please. Roger! Oh, Roger.
What is it, Jane?
I was so frightened. Who were you talking to?
Talking to?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I must have been dreaming.
Yes, you must have been there. There isn't anyone... Roger, you smell perfume in here?
Perfume? Well, yes. Isn't it the perfume I gave you for your birthday?
No, it isn't my perfume. It smells like narcissus.
Yes.
Darling, what were you dreaming about?
Well, it was night, and all around me was a mist. A mist so heavy I couldn't see more than a few feet. There was a woman.
A woman?
Yes, I could barely make out her face in this swirling mists, but it was a beautiful face. The most beautiful I've ever seen.
How strange. Of course it was a dream.
Yes, of course.
We both agreed it was a dream. But in our unspoken thoughts, it was more than a dream. The next day, I entered the study several times to find Roger sitting at his desk, staring into space. The scent of narcissus was gone. That night, Roger tossed and turned in his bed, unable to fall asleep. Just before dawn, I awoke to find his bed empty. A cold terror swept over me as I left my room and started down the stairs to the study. And then I heard that which I most dreaded to hear. Roger's voice.
Who are you? This mist. If only you'd come closer. Bridge the distance between us. I've seen you before, haven't I? And yet, where? Yes, I can see much better now. You are beautiful. Who are you?
Roger! Roger, please open the door.
Why are you leaving? No, please don't. Come back, please, come back.
Darling, let me in. Please open the door. Oh, Roger, are you all right?
Yes, of course I'm all right.
The scent of narcissus. The study's filled with it.
Why did you wake me?
You saw her again, didn't you? The narcissus. It's her scent.
You only hadn't awakened me.
Roger, what are you saying?
If only she'd spoken to me.
What are you saying? It is a dream, isn't it? It must be.
I don't know. I don't know. When twilight comes, I feel her presence in the house, in this room.
It's your imagination. It must be.
Yes, but the scent of narcissus, where does that come from?
I don't know. But it's evil. The house is evil. We must leave it.
Leave it? No, we can't leave it. I've got to see her again. I've got to find out who she is.
Roger, we must leave. I don't understand what's happening to us, but it's evil. I can feel it.
No, I won't leave. I can't.
Roger, unlock this door. I want to talk to you. Roger!
What do you want? I thought I told you I wasn't to be disturbed.
I must talk to you, make you realize that you...
Tonight, Jane, she was closer to me than ever before, so close I could almost touch her. I spoke, and she started to reply, and then you knocked.
Roger, what's happening to you? She's from another world, a phantom, an evil one.
No, she isn't evil. She couldn't be. She's too beautiful.
Darling, look at me. You can't let her come between us. I'm your wife. I love you.
I don't want your love.
Roger, listen to me. You must come away from this house. We must leave at once.
No.
I insist.
Will you get out of here? And don't come back. I'll never leave her.
As I fled from the house, Doctor, I could still hear him shouting, "I'll never leave her." Oh, you must help me, Doctor. You must.
I'll do what I can, Mrs. Barton.
You don't think I'm losing my sanity, do you?
No. That which you fear may well be. Look, there's a history to Wickford Manor, though few people are familiar with it.
A history?
Yes. The house was built in 1811 by Martin Wickford for his bride, Marie Duval. It was considered one of the finest houses in New England. A year later, Marie's sister Isabel came to live with the Wickfords. From some of the old records, letters, I gather she was a remarkably beautiful woman. So beautiful that Martin Wickford fell in love with her, and she with him.
Then what happened?
One day, while Martin was hunting in the mountains, he was killed in a fall. When his companions brought his body back to Wickford Manor, they found Marie, his wife, dead. She'd been poisoned.
Poison?
Yes. At the sight of Martin's body, Isabel went to pieces and confessed to the poisoning of her sister. But before she could be arrested, she did away with herself. In the study.
In the study?
Yes. There's a quotation in the Bible to the effect that a murderer shall find no peace in the hereafter. Isabel Duval was a murderess.
Then you do believe her spirit is in the house?
In the years that followed the tragedy, Wickford Manor had a succession of tenants, all of whom left after a brief residence.
You mean they saw her too?
Well, the tenants made no claims of seeing anyone, but their fear of an unknown element in the house led to their leaving.
Yes, but if the other tenants never saw her, why should Roger see her?
Mrs. Barton, have you ever visited some place for the first time, had the feeling you'd seen the place before?
Oh, why, yes, but that was imagination.
Can one be sure it is imagination? Perhaps you had seen that place in the long ago as another person.
As another person?
Yes.
You mean Roger, as another person, had once known Wickford Manor?
How else do you account for his remembrances of things he'd never seen in this life?
I don't know. Doctor, you're trying to tell me something. What is it?
All I know is we must return to the manor at once. The spirit that's abroad in that house is one to be feared more than death itself.
Please. Please, come closer. There's nothing to be afraid of. She's gone. Oh, please, there are only the two of us now. You're beautiful. You're so beautiful. We have met before, haven't we?
Yes. We have met before.
You spoke.
I've waited so long for you, Martin.
Why do you call me Martin? My name is Roger.
It was Martin. Then.
Then? What do you mean?
Look at me, Martin. Look into my eyes. Don't you remember?
Yes. Yes, but where? When?
Think, Martin. Think. Time is the barrier between us, but we shall overcome it. Think back into the dim past when you lived in this house and we loved each other.
When? Isabel. Isabel.
Yes, Martin. Isabel. Do you remember now?
Yes. I remember everything up to the day I went hunting in the mountains. And I fell. What happened to me, Isabel? What happened to us? To our love?
Don't think of that accursed day, darling. Think of the future. Our happiness together.
Yes, Isabel, our happiness together.
Just the two of us. In this house, I have waited so long for you to come back, Martin. But at last we are together.
Yes, darling, forever.
Roger, please open the door.
She's come back. She's come back, Isabel. Don't go. Darling, don't leave me.
I must, Martin.
No, come back. Come back, please, come back.
Roger, unlock this door.
What do you want? Who's he?
Oh, this is Dr. Stewart, Roger. Doctor, this is my husband.
What the devil did you bring him here for?
Roger, please, I thought perhaps he could help.
What do you mean help us? I don't need anyone's help.
Your wife has told me everything.
My wife has quite an imagination, Doctor.
Roger.
Lately, she's taking to imagining all sorts of things. I'm beginning to believe she's become unbalanced.
I'm not. How can you say such a thing?
I wish you'd trust me, Mr. Barton. Allow me to try to help you. I must warn you, the spirit of the woman you see in this study is an evil one that will lead you to disaster.
I told you I don't need help from you or anyone. Now get out, both of you.
Roger.
Come along, Mrs. Barton.
All I ask is to be left alone.
Oh, Roger. Roger.
Please don't cry, Mrs. Barton.
You saw him. It's as though he were possessed.
Yes, I know.
We must do something. We must.
We shall, but not tonight. I must have time to think about it. You'd better return to the village with me.
No, I don't want to leave him in the house alone. Something might happen to him.
Are you sure you want to stay?
Yes.
Very well. I'll return late tomorrow afternoon. When I do, we will take action.
Look at her, Martin, lying there in her bed, asleep, so defenseless. If you want me, you must get rid of her. Hurry, Martin, it is almost dawn and I must leave. There's no time to waste.
Yes, Isabel, yes. We can't let her come between us. I'll do as you say.
Oh, who's there?
Roger.
Oh, for a moment I was frightened. What time is it?
Well, it's just dawn. I have to do it, Jane. I have to.
No, Roger, do not.
I can't let you come between Isabel and myself. Not now. Not after we've found each other again.
Tighter, Martin, tighter, until she stops struggling into still forever.
Isabel, don't leave me. Isabel, where are you? Isabel.
Roger.
Come back, Isabel. Come back.
Roger, can't you see what she's doing to you? Tonight she'll be back again and she won't let you fail.
Isabel, darling, don't leave me. Now, please don't leave me, Isabel.
Oh, Roger. Roger.
And then he stopped choking you, ran out of your room and down to the study?
Yes.
Where is he now?
He's still in the study. He's been there all day.
I should have known better than to have let you remain in this house last night. She knows that if he murders you, he'll join her cursed spirit forever.
Oh, look, it's growing dark out. Soon she'll appear before him again. Doctor, we must do something. Last night you said you'd help
And
me.
I will. This woman, Isabel, has been denied the peace of the grave because her sister's blood is on her hands. She belongs neither to the living or the dead, only to this house. If we could get your husband to leave, it might break the spell she's cast over him.
Yes, but he absolutely refuses to leave.
Then we must force him to.
Force him to?
Yes. I can very quickly give him a hypodermic, render him unconscious.
Yes, then we could carry him away.
To make sure he never returns to this house, we must burn it to the ground before we leave.
Burn the house?
Yes. Unless, of course, you don't want to.
Oh, yes. Yes, we will burn it. And the evil that's in it.
Then if you'll lead the way to the study.
All right, Doctor. Have you the hypodermic ready?
Yes. And when your husband opens the door, just gain his attention for a moment. Long enough for me to give him the hypodermic.
Very well. Shall I knock now?
Yes, I'm ready.
Roger, open the door. I want to talk to you.
What do you want? Why has he come back to this house?
Oh, he's come to take me away, Roger.
Take you away? Well, good. I'm glad to see... What did you stick me with? What's that in your hand, Doctor?
Just a hypodermic, Mr. Barton.
A hypodermic? Well, why? What are you up to? You're trying to take me away from this house. From her. Well, I won't go. I won't go. Do you hear? You'll never...
Doctor, quick, he's falling.
I've got it, Mrs. Barton.
Yes.
Now, I suggest you take that lamp and smash it on the floor.
Yes, let's burn the place to the ground.
That's it. Now, you better help me carry your husband out of the house, Mrs. Barton. In a little while, this house will be a mass of flame. He's regaining consciousness now, Mrs. Barton.
Will he remember what's happened?
I don't know.
Huh? Oh. Hello, Janie.
Darling.
I had a terrible dream. It's all so confused. Janie, darling, you're crying.
It's nothing, darling. You've been very ill, but now you're going to be all right.
Of course.
Well, who are you?
He's Dr. Stewart, Roger. He's been looking after you during your illness.
Oh. Where am I?
You're in my home, Mr. Barton.
Oh.
Yes, darling. Our own house burned down last night.
It burned down?
Yes.
Oh, that's too bad. Why, we only had one night in our new home.
One night? Yeah. Oh, yes, of course, Roger.
Well, Mrs. Barton, in spite of the loss of your home, I think you were very fortunate. There are things far worse than fire.
Yes, Doctor. And I can never thank you enough for breaking the bridge between the past and the present.
What are you two talking about?
Oh, nothing, darling. Nothing at all. Oh, Roger. Oh, darling, you've been humming that all day.
Well, I'm just glad to be out of a sick bed and on my way to California. Look, we just crossed the state line into Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've come almost 600 miles since dawn.
Yeah, it's getting dark.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think we ought to stop now for the night?
Anything you say, darling.
Yeah, let's stop at the next motel.
All right. Well, I guess I better turn my headlights on. There.
Oh, darling, I've never been so happy. Roger.
What?
Do you smell something?
Yes, it's good country air.
No, I don't mean that.
Jenny, what's wrong with you?
Don't you smell it?
Smell what? Oh, you mean that perfume?
Yes.
It seems familiar. Yes. What is it?
Narcissus.
Narcissus. Wasn't that the said in the study that first evening?
Yes. She's in the car, isn't she, Roger? She's followed us. Roger, answer me.
What?
Roger, you mustn't listen to her. She's trying to come between us. Darling, look at me. Look at me. Why, you're slowing down. No.
This is the mysterious traveler again. Did you enjoy our trip? Poor Janie. There are some ghosts you just can't escape from. Strangely enough, as Roger Barton was being hanged some 6 months later for his wife's murder, everyone noticed a strange scent of perfume about the gallows. Some people said afterward it was the scent of narcissus. I trust that if you ever see a house for the first time and it looks familiar, you'll have the good sense to turn and flee. Perhaps a ghost out of your past awaits in that house. A ghost that's been waiting for you a long time, and he's Oh, you have to get off here. I'm sorry. I'm sure we meet again. I take this same train every week at this same time.
Just heard The Mysterious Traveler, Now you can follow other tense and exciting adventures of the Mysterious Traveler in the current issue of the Mysterious Traveler magazine, now available. In our cast were Bryna Rayburn and Lyle Suto. Maurice Tarplin starred in the title role. Music, under the direction of Emerson Buckley, composed by Richard DuPage. This program came to you from New York.
Stay tuned to HOJO Radio.
The Mutual Broadcasting System presents The Mysterious Traveler. Written, produced, and directed by Robert A. Arthur and David Kogan, and starring tonight two of radio's foremost personalities, Santos Ortega and Ann Shepard, in Out of the Past.
This is the Mysterious Traveler, inviting you to join me on another journey into the realm of the strange and the terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, that it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back, get a good grip on your nerves, and be comfortable, if you can, as you hear Out of the Past. Your name is Joan Morgan, and as you stand looking over Central Park from your penthouse terrace on this beautiful spring day, you can't help but feel you're the luckiest woman living. You're young, attractive, fairly wealthy, and happily married to a Broadway actor. Yes, Joan, there's little more you could ask for. The doorbell rings. You run to the door to greet your husband, Keith, who is home from his matinee performance.
Hello, beautiful. How's my one and only?
Hello, darling. Oh, Keith, no wonder every actress wants to have you for her leading man.
Nonsense. I'll have you know the only person I kiss like that is my wife.
Better say that. How is the matinee today?
Fine. I got 7 curtain calls. Oh, here's the afternoon mail. I picked it up at the desk.
Anything for me?
I haven't looked it over, dear.
Oh, yes, here's one for me. 3 others for you, dear.
Let's see. This one's a bill from the hotel management. Darling, we're living beyond our means.
Oh, Keith, you're not going to start that again, are you? Well, we have over $500,000.
I've told you a dozen times I won't touch that money. It's yours, not mine.
Darling, it isn't a question of it being yours or mine. It's ours.
Joan, I made it clear to you when we got married that we'd have to live on the money I earn.
Then what'll I do with my money if you won't allow me to spend it?
Well, someday we'll have 6 children. You can save it for then.
All right, darling. I wonder who my letter can be from.
You rip open the envelope, Joan, as Keith looks at the rest of his mail. For a moment you feel as if your heart has stopped. Then it begins to beat wildly. Over and over you read the 2 sentences. A friend from Europe expects you tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock at the Hotel Edgewood. Please bring $25,000 in cash, or else I shall be forced to take action. John Benedict.
Joan, what is it? What's wrong, darling?
What did you say?
You look so upset. Is it that letter you're reading?
Letter? No. No.
Well, then, if it isn't the letter, what is it?
It's nothing, darling, nothing at all. It's just that I have a headache.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I get you something?
No, Keith, no, I'll be all right. All I need is a little rest.
Come in, won't you, Joan? Sorry to have kept you waiting.
Martin, you must help me.
Why, of course, Joan. You know I'd do anything for you. Sit down and tell me about it.
Martin, I'm in trouble. I'm in great trouble.
Joan, what is it? What's wrong?
I'm being blackmailed.
Blackmailed?
Yes.
By whom?
A man named John Benedict. I don't know who he is. But I received a letter from him yesterday afternoon.
There's only one thing to do, and that's to go to the police. I'll call the district attorney.
No. I can't go to the police.
Why not?
This man, Benedict, knows something I can't afford to have exposed.
What does he know, Joan?
Please, don't ask me. I know that you were my father's best friend, but I can't tell you. Believe me, if it ever gets out, it would ruin my marriage. My life. I couldn't stand to lose Keith. I couldn't. I'd rather die.
All right, Joan. I think you're making a mistake, but I'll help you. How much money does this man Benedict want?
A half hour later, you enter a dingy hotel and go to room 14. As Martin opens the door, he reveals a squalid, dimly lit room. For the first time, Joan, you see John Benedict. He's a tall, heavy man with coarse features and a thick black beard. In the half-light, he appears to be about 50. His clothes are of fine English cut, but time and wear have taken their toll. He stares at you for a moment, Joan, then speaks.
How do you do, Mrs. Morgan? Won't you please come in?
Thank you. This is Mr. Walker, friend.
Yes, of course. I trust you will forgive me these dismal surroundings, but alas, I am quite penniless.
So you thought it would be an excellent idea to blackmail this lady for funds?
I am afraid you misunderstand me, Mr. Walker. I am not forcing this beautiful lady to give me 5,000 pounds. Rather, I am, shall we say, requesting a loan.
Yes, but if she doesn't give you this loan, you'll ruin her marriage or her life.
It would distress me to ruin anyone's life. But then it also distresses me to live in a pigsty like this.
A much more suitable place would be the state penitentiary.
Martin, please don't talk like that.
Evidently, Mrs. Morgan, your friend is more interested in having me placed in prison than in saving you from disaster. I'm afraid you have not revealed our little secret to Mr. Walker.
No, I haven't.
Well, then, perhaps if we were to tell him, he would not be quite so eager to imprison me. Perhaps if he knew that at one time you had...
No. Don't say any more. I'll pay you.
Allow me to commend you on your good judgment.
Martin, give him the money. Give it to him.
Very well. Here's your filthy blood money.
Thank you. I think you have been very wise, Mrs. Morgan. Very wise indeed. Good day.
In the weeks that follow, Joan, you try to forget Mr. Benedict and the terrifying secret he shares with you. But you aren't successful, are you? Everywhere you go, you unconsciously find yourself fearfully looking for him. Life has become tense, frightening. Then one afternoon, while Keith is at rehearsal of a new play, you receive a phone call. A call that sends you in a panic to Martin Walker's office.
Martin, I've heard from him again.
Benedict?
Yes, he phoned an hour ago. He wants $50,000.
50,000? Maybe now you'll have sense enough to let me turn this over to the police.
No, I can't do that.
You mean you're going to buy him off a second time?
Yes, I must.
But you can't. What's to prevent his extorting money from you a third or a fourth time? He'll squeeze you dry.
The money doesn't matter, do you hear? Nothing matters but keeping what Benedict knows from Keith. If Keith finds out, it'll mean the end of everything for me. Everything.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Morgan. Oh, I see you brought Mr. Walker. And I was counting on a pleasant afternoon. May I take your coat?
No.
Benedict, what do you mean by asking for $50,000? We paid you $25,000. That was supposed to keep your mouth shut.
Well, it has, up to now. But as you can see by this suite of rooms, Mr. Walker, it takes money to live lavishly. Therefore, I shall need more.
Well, you shan't have it. We paid you off once. We're not paying you off again. There's a limit to what anyone will pay.
Yes, quite true, Mr. Walker. But the limit has not been reached as yet.
You swine. If I had my way, I'd call the police and put you where you belong.
Mrs. Morgan, I am afraid you are allowing your friend to go too far. I have but to pick up this telephone, and your world will come crashing down about.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. Martin, give him the money.
But Joan,
give it to him. I can't stand this anymore.
Very well. Here it is, Benedict. But I warn you, you'd better not try anything further. There is such a thing as pushing a person too far.
I shall try to remember that, Mr. Walker. Thank you for your advice and the money.
You're trembling with fear as you leave Benedict's luxurious suite, aren't you, Jordan? And even when you reach your own apartment, the fear hasn't left you. Weeks pass, and life is a nightmare. Every time someone knocks at the door or the phone rings, your heart begins to beat wildly. And worst of all, Keith senses something is wrong.
I'll answer it.
But how much closer to it there?
Hello?
Is this Mr. Morgan's apartment?
Yes?
This is the stage manager at the theater. Will you please remind Mr. Morgan of the special matinee we're giving today?
Yes. Yes, I'll tell him. It was the theater calling Keith to remind you of today's special performance.
I haven't forgotten. It's only 2:05. I still have a few minutes before I have to leave. Joan,
Yes.
what is it, darling? What's come over you?
Come over me?
Yes. These past weeks, you've been just a bundle of nerves. Every time the phone rings or the mail arrives, you begin to tremble. What's wrong?
Darling, you're just imagining all that.
Joan, stop acting as though I were a child. I can see something's wrong, and I want to know what it is.
Keith, please. There's nothing... Who could that be?
Never mind, I'll get it.
No,
you just sit
Keith,
where you
I would
are and
rather...
rest.
Look, darling, you have to get to the... To the... What's taking him so long? Why doesn't he come back? Keith? Who is it? Keith!
Joan, what is it? Why did you scream like that?
I didn't scream. Who was that at the door?
Well, it was just a special delivery boy. He brought this special delivery for you.
Special delivery?
Yes, here.
Thank you.
Aren't you going to open it? After all, it is a special delivery.
Yes. Of course.
I never saw anyone so afraid of a letter. Who's it from? Joan, what's wrong?
Nothing. Nothing. No.
Don't tell me that. You look as though you were going to collapse. Now, give me that letter.
No,
I said,
please,
give it to me.
No, please.
There, that's better. Perhaps this letter will tell me what's wrong. Why, it's only one sentence. I will phone you at 2. There isn't even a signature. Who wrote this note, Joan?
I don't know.
You must know, else why would you have grown so pale? I'll phone you at 2. It's almost 2 now. I'll wait for that call.
Keith, please. You must have faith in me.
All these weeks I've had faith, said nothing, hoping you'd tell me what was wrong. Now I must find out for myself. Well, right on time. It's just 2 o'clock.
Please, don't answer.
Take your phone. Take your hand off the phone,
Please,
Joan.
Keith, no.
I said
won't
take
let
your
you
hand off the
answer it.
phone. Hello? 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 No answer. Another call hung up when they heard my voice. I suppose you won't tell me who it is? All right, then. I have to leave for the matinee now. I won't be home for dinner, but when I return after tonight's performance, we'll have this out once and for all.
Please. Please. I just can't tell you. If you'd only
Goodbye,
wait.
Joan.
Please. I can't. Oh, darling. If only I could tell you. If only I could. But I know you wouldn't want me then. How could you? How could you if you knew? Oh. Must be he. Must be he again. Hello?
Good afternoon, Mrs. Morgan.
You promised you'd leave me alone, that I'd never hear from you again. That was only a month ago.
Yes, I know. But then, I am always making promises I cannot keep.
You've ruined everything. My husband read the special delivery letter you sent. He answered the phone when you called a few minutes ago. How can I explain?
Oh, that should not be too difficult for a clever woman like yourself. And you are a clever woman, are you not?
What do you want? I'm tired of your playing cat and mouse with me.
I intend to call on you at 5:30 this afternoon.
I won't pay you another cent, do you hear? There's no end to your demands.
You may expect me at 5:30.
No.
And do not have Walker there.
No, I won't see you. I won't... Hello? 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 I won't see you!
Good afternoon, Mrs. Morgan. As you can see, I am right on time. It's exactly 5:30. This is a lovely penthouse you have. It's good to see you without Walker around.
How can you do this to me? I've never harmed you. Why do you insist on ruining my life? Why?
My dear lady, the last thing I desire to do is to ruin your life. Unfortunately, the world you and I live in being what it is, I am forced by circumstances to live by my wits.
If I give you the money now, how do I know you won't be back in another month?
Oh, that is very simple. Because after you pay me off this time, there would not be any point in my bothering you again.
What do you mean?
I mean, Mrs. Morgan, that this time I want $500,000.
$500,000?
Yes. If I am not mistaken, that is what the balance of your fortune amounts to. Do you not see? Once you have paid it over to me, there would be no point in my bothering you anymore. Simple. Is it not?
You must be mad.
I? Oh, no, Mrs. Morgan, not I. Come now, you love your husband and he loves you. There are years and years of happiness before you. If he does not learn your little secret, you are wise. You will turn the money over to me.
I can't. If I were to withdraw $500,000, he'd find out about it.
Ah, but there is always the chance that he won't. You do not do as I ask. I shall be forced to reveal the secret.
No.
Yes, Mrs. Morgan. Your husband will learn that while you were in England in 1939, you murdered your sweetheart.
I won't listen.
But your husband will. And he will learn that after you committed this murder, you spent the following 8 years in an English insane asylum.
No, you can't tell him. You can't.
Think of what a sensation the tabloids will make out of it. And think of what people will say.
No.
Your husband would have to divorce.
No.
So, fainted, have you? That is not going to help you, Mrs. Morgan.
Martin, I just got your message at the theater. Where's Joan? What's wrong?
She's in her bedroom with Dr. Richards. It seems that she... Here's Dr. Richards now.
Doctor, what's wrong?
Keith, you must prepare yourself for a shock.
What's happened?
Half hour ago, one of your neighbors on the floor heard Joan weeping and screaming hysterically. The manager knew I was your doctor and sent for me.
But why was she weeping and screaming?
She's had a breakdown.
Breakdown?
Yes.
Well, I want to see her. I must.
Very well, Keith, but only for a moment. Mr. Walker, I'm afraid you'll have to wait here.
I understand, Doctor.
Keith, you must keep a grip on yourself.
All right. Joan. Darling. It's Keith.
Please, stay away from me. Stay away, both of you. No, don't come near me.
Doctor, she doesn't even recognize me.
Yes, Keith, I
I
know.
know who you are. You can't fool me. One of you is Mr. Benedict. Maybe both of you are Mr. Benedict. Yes. I know what you're here for, but I won't let you. I won't let you.
She's completely out of her mind.
I
Yes,
know
yes,
you're both Mr. Benedict. You can't fool me.
Who's this Benedict she
You
keeps
can't
talking
fool
about?
I don't know,
me.
Keith. She feels she's being persecuted by this Benedict fellow. He may be real, and again, he may be a figment of her imagination.
She's deathly afraid of her.
Yes, she sees everyone as this fellow Benedict. I tried to give her a sedative, but she grows violent when I approach.
Well, can't you do something for her?
I've already sent for an ambulance. She'd be much better off in a hospital where she can have constant medical care. Come along, Keith.
How is she, Doctor?
Well, it may be a long time before she recovers. I'm going down to the lobby, wait for the ambulance. I suggest you two stay here. Keep an eye on her. I've left the door to her room open.
All right, Doctor.
Shouldn't be more than a few minutes.
How do you feel, Keith? Tired, if you want to know. Well, it's only natural. These past 2 months have been quite strenuous for you. But with $500,000 and a wife who'll probably never be in any condition to ask you about it, you've done quite well.
Quite well? That's an understatement. Name one actor, living or dead, who could have given as great a performance as Mr. Benedict as I did.
You were superb as Benedict, I admit.
Superb? Why, I was magnificent. The costume, the makeup, my accent, simply perfect. I tell you, it was the greatest performance ever given. What a pity you weren't here at 5:30 this afternoon.
I'm sure I missed the performance of the age.
I outdid myself. You should have heard me.
Yes, Mrs. Morgan. Your husband will learn that while you were in England in 1939, you murdered your, sweetheart. That after you committed this murder, you spent the following 8 years in an English insane asylum.
It's really a pity I played my greatest role to an audience of one.
Well, yes, Keith, but you were probably the highest paid actor in the world. I'm sure that $500,000 for 2 months' work, less my share, of course, is something of a record.
Yes, it probably is.
I heard you, Mr. Benedict. You can't fool me.
Don't.
I know one of you is Mr. Benedict. Or are you both Mr. Yes, you both must be Mr. Benedict. That's clever. That disguise you use, that's clever. But you can't fool me!
She must have overheard you. That brought her out of her room. Yes,
no matter how many disguises you use, I know you. No, don't you come near me. Don't come near me.
Keith, she's got a gun.
Come
Joe,
near me.
put that gun down.
I'm not going to let you tell. I'm not going to let
No, don't.
you
Don't,
tell.
Joe. Stop. You shot me. Oh, Joe, no. I'm not Mr. Benedict. He's
You'll never tell Keith now. Never, never, never.
This is the mysterious traveler again. Did you enjoy our trip? Too bad about poor Keith and Martin. Such interesting scoundrels. That fellow Keith was certainly a remarkable actor, wasn't he? But, like so many actors, he overplayed his role. With fatal results. What happened to Joan Morgan? Well, the poor woman was committed to an institution, where after several years of treatment, she recovered completely. However, she still has a deathly fear of actors. Oh, you'll have to get off here. I'm sorry. But I'm sure we'll meet again. I take this same train every week at the same time.
You've just heard The Mysterious Traveler, a series of dramas of the strange and terrifying. The role of the mysterious traveler is played by Maurice Tarplin. Others in the cast were Santos Ortega, Ann Shepard, and Roger DeKoven. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Thanks for listening to HOJO Radio. We'll be back again very soon.